pick back up with episode 113.
Yes. Welcome back to another wonderful session of the Black Aurora. Last we left off was a bit of a shorter week, so not too much more to cover in a recap. I think we started last session back in Renati, I believe it was, or at least arriving to Renati. But you guys have been tasked by Lord Dior. We started last week. We started last week right after learning about his decision to finally take up the throne of the Holy Land and the mantle as King Dior of the Holy Throne of Elk, which is going to be a major event. Culminating in a grand ball, celebrating the alliances that the Holy Land has made over the last 20 years with various people, as well as some new, hopeful alliances to protect this world from the threats of Gardas and the Black Aurora itself. It's almost like the campaign title is finally coming around. Finally. It's been
Finally.
there, but
After 113
Um,
sessions.
yeah, for 113 sessions. And to that task, you guys, who were already planning on heading to Susail anyways, with the hopes of preventing a civil war, have been given 5 sealed Imperial letters with the intention of delivering them to the emperors and empresses of Susail, inviting them to come to this coronation ceremony slash alliance ball, with a couple of caveats of during this time, Susail should enter into a ceasefire agreement, a sort of armistice, so that there's no combat, with the hope that the Holy Land can act as this form of mediator for the peoples of Susail, and perhaps peace could be found, as there is another greater threat out there that they all should unify against. To that end, the party did some shopping before leaving Renati. You commissioned a set of aura plate from Cariel, the first set of aura plate that players will have access to since my last campaign, even. And that's exciting. Although you still need to, Violet, you still need to learn how to use Exalted Flame before you can even really use the true abilities of the armor.
Perhaps we visit the Karanis Isles.
You do have a teacher in the Karanis Isles, Chorus. He does have the ability to use Exalted Flame, so that could be an option. But you have 2 weeks until the ship is ready, and during that 2 weeks, and with the time spent having this armor created for you, you have decided to go to Susail immediately and begin your diplomatic mission to deliver these letters to the emperors and empresses. There was another point of note last session before leaving. You guys did more shenanigans with the clinic, Nine and Orlanasi, delivering him a sending stone in secret that's linked to Paria, which hasn't really actually come about yet. Part of that distraction you needed to get that sending stone to him, Violet pretended there was something wrong with her aura, only to find that there might actually be something wrong with her aura, as Leviathan examined it, followed by Naren examining it later, and realizing that you might have some form of resilience beyond resilience, some sort of external decay resistance. And this might be tied to your heritage as a member of the Violet clan, as Violet, well named, was reincarnated with the last bit of the Kieran soul. The Kieran soul being the one part of the Kieran that was split into 6 pieces and given out to the clans. Soul was given to Violet. Quite literally in this case. And you need to learn what that means for you and how to potentially activate a true Violet aura. The only way to do so is to come to Susail and seek out those who know about true auras. So it's all kind of coming together in Susail, thankfully. And we, last session, we wrapped up as you guys arrived at Levatos, the Crimson House of Susail, also the seat of power for your mother, Orlith, for 2 of your mothers. And although we left it on the map for the last session, we are going to pick back up in her chambers, she had provided the map as a means of giving you guys an idea of time frames for getting around. Also, I don't know if anyone noticed, I told Chris about this. Roll20 updated last week after we had
Yes.
just talked about how I wish there were folders for maps. There's
It's
folders for maps
amazing.
now, and it's
all
so
right.
good.
I
It's
updated.
so
Oh,
good. I can put you on different maps now.
I
Each
know.
player can be on a different map. It's really cool.
I was
That's
messing around
cool.
with it and
It's
organizing
really
mine,
cool.
and it's wonderful.
I put all my maps into folders, and it's so nice. I also realized I have 51 Gardas folders for some reason, Gardas images, and like 19 for Dane and 12 for Calcifel. So some things happened in Gardas that I forgot about.
No,
But yeah,
just on the
Yeah.
stream last week, like, oh shit, yeah, we should do that.
yeah, they watch our stream. Clearly, it's got to be it. Like,
It's
I'm that important. No, doubtful. But if we want to stick on this map for just a moment, you guys were discussing, though you're not leaving immediately, you're sticking around in Levitos at least probably for a day, I imagine, to see the sights and such, and catch up.
with Mom.
Catch up with Mom. But the idea was to head to Port Chimera, where the Verdant live. And the general route that was kind of suggested was to kind of work your way counterclockwise around to hit up all the 5 houses. You could technically go to the Gold. Technically, the Golden are the closest to Crimson, but the Verdant are the most allied with the Crimson right now. So it's up to you guys on which one you'd like to do in which order. You do have Comfort, your
Yay.
flying carpet cloud, which I have decided based on travel is always a weird thing. On the world map, every 30 feet is a day's travel via Comfort.
Okay.
Going straight across, like going over mountains, over rivers, over like there's just no terrain stopping you. So it will take about 2 days of cloud travel, which would normally take you like a week of cart travel or more, winding through the Crimson's rocky terrain. You're cutting this trip dramatically down in size because you can have we discussed it last time, you have 2 people who can trance, so there's no reason you couldn't just fly indefinitely. Somebody always is awake steering the cloud, and it doesn't have run out of power. It does move slow at 30 feet like you guys do, without the ability to like dash. So it's essentially you guys walking in a straight line 300 feet in the air to the Verdant. But it will be, you guys can sleep, you can eat, you can read, you can do whatever you want on the cloud. You won't have to rest. You might have to stop for bathroom breaks because that's a weird thing we're not going to talk about. But there's no reason you could not still be sleeping while also moving. So with that in mind, assuming, let's say, just for the sake of assumptions, you take a day in each capital just to stay there or see the sights, stay overnight, then leave in the morning. 1 day in Levitos, 2, 3, I'll say 3-ish to get to Port Chimera. It's a little bit finicky. Stay there 4 days. 5. Ugh. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say 6 days to get to Stratos. If you stay there for a day, we're at 7. 8, 9. It's about 2 days travel between each of the capitals. 10, 11, 12. And you know at that point, your ship will be ready. If you stay a day in each capital, by the time you reach Plateau, the capital of the Golden House, your ship will be ready, and you will then have 7 days until the ball. Because you have roughly 2 weeks, actually about 12 days exactly, because you've already been, it's been about 2 days since the 2 weeks began. 12 days until your ship is prepared, and then 7 days after is when your ball happens. So, and that time can be cut down if you use forms of teleportation or you don't stay a night. You can cut this down easily. You have plenty of time to get everywhere you need to go. So, with that planning in mind, we're going to pull back in now to the personal chambers of Empress Orlith. This is, once again, on one of the topmost floors of the Crimson Throne, this towering-like castle that is parallel to the Mount Levatine, the large volcano that sits at the northern edge of Levatos. The temperature in the castle is controlled, whereas outside it is a balmy temperature, as it is extremely hot at the base of the volcano, very close to tropical climate. But as you guys have sat down, we now pull back out. You can almost say that the last map was like a zoomed-in view of you all looking at the map, and as we pull back up, Orlith rolls the map up and hands it to Peria, and concludes her belief of what route you should take. If you follow the plans as I have provided, you should have plenty of time to get back home in time for your festivities. I will say, if you did not have access to this cloud form of which I need to see, by the way, that sounds very interesting.
We can show you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure at some point. If you did not have access to that, I would say this timetable is impossible to follow. So it's a very good thing you do. But of course, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. I have very much I would like to share with you about our own culture and the wonders of home. But I know you're very busy as well, so I won't be upset if you don't stay long.
Well, at the very least, Perry does have to make a quick trip back to Sicily tomorrow, so
Suzanne?
that's a sale.
Toilet.
Renati.
Well, I know you have the means of teleportation available to you for certain locations, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, so we'll probably at least be here for a day.
Well, it'd be wonderful to have you. What time is it, actually? Peria, you check the sphere. I believe you guys left
Evening time, I
in
think.
the evening time-ish.
Mid-afternoon, like 3
So
or
I would
something.
say it's closer to like a dinner time at this point for you guys. We'll say like 6:30 p.m.-ish. She will look to you all. Have you eaten yet?
No.
No.
Not that I can
Well, we had
recall.
a light lunch earlier today.
Oh,
What soup?
Yeah, soup.
is there any
light lunch.
is there any requests I can take? I could have the chefs create something.
Soup.
I
No.
swear to God.
Absolutely, but before we move on to that one, there's one thing
What was that?
Hmm?
AJ?
Absolutely, but before we move on to that, Mom, there's one more thing I need to tell you.
Oh.
All right. It can't be said over food?
I mean, it could, I suppose, but
Well, you have to eat eventually, dear.
Oh yeah, you do get hungry now, right?
Yes, remember, you're breathing now.
yes.
You are remembering to eat, right?
Yes, I am.
You're making sure she eats. Like, looks to Peria. You're
Yes.
making sure she eats. She's keeping care of herself.
Yes,
Good.
I'm on it.
And I'm making sure
Hi,
Peria
Mira.
eats.
Yes. yeah.
Thank you.
So wait, since you're reincarnated, am I the older sister now?
I mean,
Oh.
Technically,
I guess if you look at it from that angle, I am technically not even 1 year old yet.
Violet was born like 3 days ago.
Yeah. That's fine.
I can't wait for her first birthday.
Sorry, Violet.
It's fine.
Back to you.
The thing is, Mom, you remember Leviathan, yes?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay. So he kind of checked out my aura while we were there. He ran his, aura through mine, and he said mine resisted his.
I keep myself quite apprised of conditions and events around the world, but you may have to remind me. I don't fully remember who this Leviathan is or what his aura does.
He was part of the order. He has a black aura. It gives decay.
I see.
Guild Pising.
You see Pai's like, yeah, I guess that's probably a more memorable thing, is he's the
Yeah.
one who killed me.
Yup.
See, Orla's like,
Yeah.
she like, Orla grabs her cane. Is that so?
Yes.
Interesting.
And the thing is, and she'll flare up her aura. He
Violet.
believes there's a chance I might have been born with a true violet aura.
Interesting. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I don't have much more information than you do on what that may entail. I did my research on the violet after Peria requested it before you entered the rite so long ago. Research is, we have libraries here, of course. We're not the brutes the people of Susail believe we are, but ours pale in comparison to the, I'm sure, the alabaster and cobalt records, but
Yeah.
we have some information. What I could find was that it was determined that only the union of the 5 clans were able to defeat the Violet due to their overwhelming strength and ability. It was seen. Of course, I know now history is perhaps a bit flawed. There were many things hidden from us by our predecessors. Emperor Kylos, especially, clearly was not the man we all thought he was. Kind of like looks to Violet, like pats your arm as she mentions the name Kalos. As you remember him being the he was the Crimson Emperor at the time, who was the one who you had memories supplanted in your mind of him being your father when you were Arcus, and it's who you thought you were loyal to when you woke up, only to remember that that was a false memory implanted as part of the Arcus conditioning, essentially.
Yeah.
The history books say that the Violet were imbued with a demonic power. But again, that is their false view, I am sure. I'm certain your abilities are wonderful and many, whatever they may be.
Thank you. I don't suppose you have a quick way to get to Kalos, as I know that's where all the
Oh, of course we
emperors.
do.
Is it?
Yes, certainly. All of the emperors have a means of teleportation to the heart of Susail. It's where the emperors, although we have not done so since the rite, obviously, it's where
Yeah.
we would routinely meet for summit meetings between all the 5 houses. If you have need of travel there, I would be happy to provide it. It could also expedite your travel to certain other clans' households, as Kalos does hold a central position.
Yes. I appreciate it. It's just I figured if there was anyone in Susail who would know pretty much everything I'd want to know about my aura, it's the one person none of you would talk to. The Sphinx.
The Sphinx, yes, the one that will eat us if we enter. Yes,
Yes.
that would probably be smart. You are one of the few people in Susail who is permitted to enter that chamber, so that may work.
But I can.
I
do that
would
later.
caution you. I know you've had some history with that creature. We all are aware of its existence as the guardian of the tomb of Arcus. But there are many stories of its deceptive nature, or its, what's the word? Mischievous, I suppose would be the word. Nature. It has been apparently known to toy with its prey.
Oh, it is also the one who gave me the information for all the auras.
Then, as I said, you probably have better information than I do regarding it. I've never seen it, and probably never will.
It's fine. I don't intend to go empty-handed this time. I have an idea to give it something it might appreciate. Probably living over dreams.
Very well. I trust your judgment.
Thank
Just be safe.
But we can focus on that later. I think food is probably a good idea right now.
I agree. That would probably be best. So, food.
Right.
What's your specialty here?
Well, we, as you imagine, have a rich diversity of plant life thanks to the soil of Mount Levatane. Despite what people may believe about us, we actually do have a very extensive vegan menu available. Many plants, many fruits. We do obviously have meat, if that is more. Like, Paisane's like, meat, please. Like, yes, I am aware, Paisane.
Yes,
I'm aware. I myself observe a primarily vegetarian diet, although I do occasionally indulge in a few carnivorous pleasures. Anything in particular you... How do you feel about fish?
I can't speak for
I'd
I
like
can't
fish.
speak I can't speak for the others, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what I like yet.
Ah, fair enough. We shall have to try many things. If you guys have specific orders, you can give them to Orlith. She goes to the door and gestures to one of the guards and gives them your food orders and has the meals brought to the room for you
That's
all
nice.
to enjoy a meal together. True to her word, most of the foods that she has are roasted vegetables, fruit platters, things of that nature. There is also just like one whole, like, suckling pig that's just for Paisane,
Just for
pretty much.
Paisane.
And he just
That's
like rips
right.
just rips
Yes,
pieces
my
off of
boy.
it. It's like, you see Orlith actually, like, as she walks by, he's like, he's a growing boy. It's his shoulder.
You have no idea.
I don't know what that means exactly, but
Ah, God. Woo.
but as you guys all enjoy a meal together, Orlith explains some of the particular spots around Levatos you may want to stop by and see. Some of you, Peria has been here before. I don't think actually Violet, Q wasn't here because Q was at
No.
the tomb before going. So this is your first time as well.
Yep.
There is not a lot for attractions here necessarily. It is true that the Crimson are the most militaristic, primarily of the clans at this point. And so they don't have a whole lot in the ways of tourist attractions, except for the Crimson Springs, which is a large hot spring at the base of Mount Levatane. That is typically divided by preferred gender, so as to keep things a bit more tame. However, as she describes the springs, she slides something over to Paisane, and he's like mid eating, like wipes his mouth, looks at it. Are you what is this? It's like, that is a writ of permission from me.
Yeah.
Permission for what? And he just like probably just flit to Medea and back to him.
I'm just looking at
Whatever
what
you'd
it
like.
says.
It is essentially it is sealed with her, like, stamped with her seal. It is an imperial decree that the honored guests of the Crimson are permitted to share a spring together at their leisure, despite typical procedure. Essentially, it's we're better than everyone else here. Get out of our way. We're gonna do what we want. Kind of
Cool, love
vibe.
that.
All right.
We're renting out the entire hot spring for us.
Essentially, you have the authority to say, all of you out. That's ours now, if wanted.
Awesome.
There is also the Vulcanist's Foundry, where many of the Vulcanists, which Vulcanists are the artisans of Crimson who use volcanic steel, aka Kirin horn, to create adamantine adjacent materials. It's a dark metal with a red hue.
Do have a
That
question about that.
yes.
As, well, I imagine many of you have already predicted, what would an arrow of that volcanic metal do?
Well, you see, she stands, walks over to one of the shelves, and you see she opens a case, and you see there is a long, lacquered red bow with a quiver of
Oh.
arrows, and she reaches in and pulls out one of the arrows. You actually now notice a majority of the objects on this, like they're all like, there is not, despite the map appearing, it's not cluttered. It's like a beautiful ornate box, and then like a foot of distance on either side, then another ornate box, or like a little glass case with some bauble inside. This is the display of some Imperial collection. And she pulls out. She gently pulls the bow out, and you do see it has these golden sigils along it. She looks at it, looks to you, and goes, "Yours is probably better." And then pulls out the arrows and plucks one of the arrows from the quiver, turns it around, and hands it to you to observe.
Oh.
And you see
Observe.
the arrow shaft itself is of like almost a bright red wood of some kind you're not familiar with, something probably local. And the arrowhead itself has these, it's narrow, but has these little ridges and has these strange diamond-shaped holes in the middle of the arrow, as if like maybe to decrease the weight of the arrowhead itself. So it's kind of hollow. Because you notice as you pick it up, there is even with the holes punched out of the metal, it's a hefty arrow. The metal itself has a great weight to it. It's a bit difficult. These are only for use with a long bow or something larger. Short bow is not strong enough to actually make one of these fly. But typically, when one is used, it punches through armor quite easily. Effectively, these arrows have full what's the word? They go through all immunities and resistances to your attack using
Oh
this
my
arrow.
god.
Oh.
Shnikey.
It punches through defenses.
Huh.
They are also exceedingly difficult to make, as volcanic
Probably
steel
expensive.
is a very heavy material that typically is not used for projectiles. And you notice, like, as she pulled out the quiver, only like 3 of the arrows are fletched the same way as the one she handed you. The rest all seem to be normal arrows. They are not made in high quantity. Unfortunately, we are still perfecting the processes even after thousands of years of
I
our
see.
society. However, I suppose I could, for friends of the family, write a writ of permission for you to access the shops of the foundry. Typically not available for wholesale purchase or anything of the sort. A Vulcanist may be able to help you with acquiring some of these for personal use. Keep in mind, although I have great power here, I cannot waive prices necessarily. I can put in a recommendation for discounts, but it is still up to the
10% off.
Vulcanists themselves. The Vulcanists themselves are almost independent of the Crimson. Some would say that the artisans of each clan have almost as much power, if not more so, than the ruling class themselves. For even though I am Empress, I have no knowledge of the volcanic arts. I would have no way to replicate it, and it is a sacred art they pass down from parent to child. So, I'll do what I can, but you may still have to pay out of pocket for a majority of their goods.
That is more than enough. Thank you.
Of course, you all are doing a very important thing, as I understand it, and any help I can offer, I will gladly do so. She like, as you like hand the arrow back, she gestures. She like looks to it for a moment. and hands it back to you. Perhaps, if nothing
Thank
else,
you.
that will help. And you may add 1 Kirin Horn arrow.
Oh, it has a name.
Yes.
I was
Uh,
calling it volcanic arrow. Kieran Horn.
So
Any
Peria had.
whatever
Oh,
attack
sorry.
you make with that specific arrow, so you have to announce you're using that arrow before making the attack. It ignores all resistances to whatever damage types your attack deals. So including if you for example used it on a weapon that converts the arrow to an element, that element is affected as well.
Okay.
The arrow itself is well, I should say the shaft is very breakable. The arrow head is nigh unbreakable as like an
Okay.
adamantine property. The arrow might still break depending on what you're shooting and where.
But
it's
I might be
going,
able to
but you
recover
could
the tip.
You would want to recover the tip, if nothing else. That's the
Okay.
part that makes it
Yeah.
special.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
It could be refletched
Okay.
if you get the tip.
Does it ignore, for mechanical purposes, if they're immune, does it take it to resistant, or if they're immune, it gets rid
Let
of
me
it all?
check my. You are correct. It goes down a step. So immunity
Okay.
becomes resistance. Resistance becomes nothing.
Okay.
Essentially.
Just checking for mechanical purposes.
Yes. 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 Exactly.
Okay. One of those. Thank you for the beautiful arrow.
I have been told you have a bit of a problem with arrows, so I figured
I
I'd help.
would.
Really does.
Just embrace it. Everyone knows it.
Uh,
You need to accept it.
I had.
First step.
I myself have trained in archery. At least I've dabbled a bit. I can understand the appeal.
I am a
I'm the same way
collector
with some
of
weapons.
arrows. It is different.
see,
it is
she-
not a
she
problem.
gestures to the wall. I can relate. I apologize. I do not have gifts prepared for everyone. That was more of an impromptu. But if there is anything you would like that I could help with, please do let me know.
It's okay, Mom.
In
I'm
fact,
gonna ask Peria something
Yeah.
quick.
all means.
Peria, she, well, out of game, I guess.
Yeah.
She had some volcanic steel, right? Or was
Or
it
gave to Q to
you
wear.
gave to Q?
technically speaking, if I remember
When it was
correctly,
Paizen gave it to me, I gave it to
I
Q.
think it was actually Paizen gave it to Felix. Felix gave it to you. You gave it to
No,
Q.
I had my own set.
You had your own. Okay,
Yeah.
Felix might still have his. I don't remember. I
Set
feel
of
like
what?
Felix had some
No.
armor. A set of
Yeah.
armor from Paizen. You
I think I
borrowed a
still have
long time ago.
Paizane's armor.
I
Yeah.
think you do. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was
So-
just curious because I was like, have I ever seen this?
Yeah.
armor before?
I think Violet is currently wearing it.
Yubbers.
So it's this like jet black armor, but as light hits it, it has a reflective red sheen across
I
it.
love that.
And so like when there's light directly on Violet, it almost looks like her armor is red hot glowing with fire, like as if it's just came out of the forge. But like in darkness, it's just black.
Okay.
I wonder if I can get a suit of armor like that.
Wait. I thought you liked the one you had.
I mean, I do, but it doesn't have exactly stylish appeal, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know I'm doing the aura plate. Once I have that, you can have this, if Barry is okay with that.
Well, it fits.
Yep.
It's,
I'm not
it's
gonna wear it.
magical. It'll
Yeah.
fit.
It will, yeah.
Because remember, I used to wear this when I was half my current height.
Right. All that magic stuff.
It resizes enough. I don't think.
Mhm.
I think it might have been a little big on Q, to probably be fair.
Probably.
It'll be a little tight around my bazonkas. It's fine.
You see Paizen like looks like he was gonna say something because I think the original idea was to give it back to him because it is his armor.
Right.
Oh,
But-
if it is his, then
But
it's okay.
because it's going to Medea, he's like, I think that's a great idea.
Look, it's
You
nothing
just
but
want to see her
fun.
wearing it, don't you?
It would look really good on her. Really would. The contrast between the dark
Not
metal
wrong.
and your hair. Oh my.
Mhm.
Oh, I need to see that.
Yeah.
And Medea has a red aura, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So even better.
Even
Oh
better.
my god, that would look
Yeah.
so striking.
Yeah.
That would look so good.
Boom.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's the idea. Is definitely Violet gets full aura plate, gives you the volcanic steel armor, which that armor makes you immune to crits and have resistance to slashing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
That's
good. Pretty
I
good.
mean, I could give Paisane my armor or something.
What are you currently wearing? Isn't it like a plus 2
It's
plate?
it's the
Mm-mm.
ward. It's the warding armor.
Oh, the warding armor. That's right. You did get that before.
Yeah, there's no AC
There's no
plus,
pluses.
but there's DR for damage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like all damage reduced by a certain amount.
4.
That is good.
Or
4.
4.
She has the
Yeah,
highest
it's
level,
very-
which
Yeah.
is
the very rare. Yep.
it's great
There's
for
no-
when you're getting hit by
There's no
multiple.
AC armor plus from the volcanic either. It just acts as
That's also true. Yeah.
Mm.
hopefully
I would like to be immune to crits though. Nice.
it is nice.
Yeah.
It is
I
very
am definitely going to miss that aspect of it.
helpful. Well, maybe if you learn Exalted,
Hmm.
maybe that's the thing.
Exalted would probably make up the difference.
I'm
Immune to crits is
sure.
great.
Absolutely.
Exalted Flame is Super Saiyan state. I think you'll break
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Actually, as you guys are discussing this, Orlith does kind of lean over. Aura plate.
Oh,
How?
right. So we
Even we
found
can't replicate that kind of craft.
know a guy.
We knew a guy.
You've known guys.
We know guys. There's Guy.
Oh yeah.
There's
and
Guy.
Carl.
as we let's just say we found a very large supply of the material.
Orachite.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
extremely rare, and
It is.
And Billiam.
I would love to see it. Will it be ready for the ball by chance?
Oh, absolutely.
You'll have to show me it when I come by. Then I admit, I myself am more of a practitioner of spell casting, but I do have a fondness for rare and beautiful arms and weapons and armors. That would be
Say
a
arms?
remarkable thing.
Arms and
Oh.
armor. Like what?
I'm
Oh,
very much
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Arms.
Even when, before my reincarnation, I was always wanting that armor.
I think every elk-born
Mhm.
person would crave a legendary suit of armor seen only in myth. Yes, it's. From what I've heard, though, it's essentially ineffective without the state of the Aurora elite.
Yes.
Yeah, I can work on that.
Details.
I have been training myself to try to learn the ability that would work with the armor.
That is a tall task, I imagine. I've never personally met an Aurora elite. They don't really exist anymore, so that's very impressive. You'll have
Thank
to show
you.
me your progress sometime.
Oh, actually, I was planning to do a little bit of training tonight before in bed. We do have purifiers on hand around here, right?
No, everyone here is Yes, of course I have purifiers. Of course
We're
I
finding
have
ourselves
purifiers.
here.
I meant specifically in the castle.
No, I have to walk down this. I'm the Empress, dear. I have one that can come to our bedchambers. I
Okay.
promise you.
Love
I
her.
might, I might
Too much
need
sass.
to once I'm done with the training.
I will call for them immediately if need be.
I love her
Also,
sass so much.
Is there any
Mhm.
kite I can purchase? You actually need that for the training, believe it or not.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be any you could buy for. The Vulcanists don't really use chitin ores. We've always relied on the horn of the Kirin as a rejuvenating source of ore, which is something remarkable in itself. There might be some curiosity shops that have fragments in jewelry. I know some
I don't
people
need
like
that
to use
much.
it as.
Jewelry? Jewelry?
We have some in the
Yes.
I thought
Oh,
we,
I'm going
I
there.
thought we gave it all up for the cart.
back. No,
Perfect.
I have 8 pounds of true chitin dust and 4
Ah,
pounds of true
dust.
chitin ore.
The
Oh.
dust would actually work even better because you normally have to break it down.
Yeah, no,
into
that's
dust
why we
and
have
then-
the dust.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, you have enough materials then.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Probably should buy some anyways. spells to cast.
Well, that is honestly quite impressive. If you manage to accomplish that, I mean, I'm proud either way, but that would be remarkable.
Well, I'm definitely hoping to achieve it myself. Preferably in time for the armor, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
If you
I hope
achieve
so.
Exalted Flame in how long is the armor going to be made?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I mean-
That would be outstanding.
I mean, I've technically had 4 months worth of training just kind of broken up.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes a bit more sense. Then I wasn't sure if this was something recent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
3 months on a ship, one month in the Holy Land.
Yes, I remember the ship. You mentioned. Yes, that was a very long trip.
So long.
Very long.
Trans-
Too long.
I try not to take sea travel as often as possible. Teleportation circles are far easier and more convenient. Yes.
Or if you have 3
Speaking
magic.
of spellcraft, Peria, how are your studies coming along?
I've mastered one.
I believe you mentioned that is very impressive. Which spell, may I ask?
The Sword of Five Arts. I went for the
You
hard
went
one.
straight for the hardest one.
Yes.
At a girl.
That's what she does.
That's very impressive. I cannot say that I was expecting you to master all of them, but to have mastered the first, the greatest of them, well, especially for someone who has not been classically trained in wizardry, that
No,
is a feat.
it was awful. I don't.
It must
like,
have been.
Oh
you,
my gosh.
But I knew she takes your hand. I knew you could, because even though you are of sorceress ability, you have my blood in you.
Well, yes. I mean, that's the main reason. I mean, apple tree, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Apple tree. What?
Apple tree. You know, a tree.
I've never heard that expression.
An apple
before.
falls. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
Maybe it's a traveler thing.
has to be.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, I did. Don't think I told you what I found with shift in our true aura.
No, this doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yes, so I can manipulate it just enough so spells are affected by our true aura.
There's a
It's
moment
Huh?
you see a
Nani?
mix of emotions.
Nani?
The first is, oh God, Perry, give me an insight check actually, just to see if you can note certain things. $15, not bad. Unless you want to try it, that's not.
Yeah,
terrible.
one more. I'm gonna try one more. One
Okay.
more.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Way better.
Yeah, it's
24.
better.
Okay. There is a half second where you feel like you may have said something wrong, because she looks not angry, but like disturbed for a quick second, and then that flashes across her face, and then there's a moment of curiosity, and then intrigue, and you see she leans across the table. Do tell.
I'll go into detail about
You
the theory.
explain the
and
process of how to use
yeah.
shift. And
I know it's very like not sacrilegious. I don't know if that's the right word, but sacrilegious too.
It is.
It's blasphemous. There we go.
Forgive me. It is a bit taboo to intermingle the effects of the true auras in our society. Many of the older and more traditionalists of Susail would find this disrespectful of heritage, but
It's fair.
as someone who has openly disrespected heritage myself, as the first empress of the Crimson to focus on spellcraft rather than martial ability,
Mhm.
I must say that I am rather impressed and interested in this.
I would love to show you.
I would be delighted to learn.
Also, am I still exiled?
See, she actually laughs for a second. Dear, you were exiled by the Chromatic Order, who disbanded 5 minutes after exiling you.
Oh.
None of you have been exiled this entire time.
Oh, I was really
That
carrying
was
that
really-
weight.
Oh dear, oh, I'm so sorry. It was a bit more of a symbolic thing, I
Oh.
believe.
Oh,
Especially
okay.
once all of the clans began to war amongst themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have really
Cares.
cared.
Yeah, no. it's
I
fair.
chose to come with you because I'd rather be with you than an empress.
Oh, thanks.
Mm,
I thought you were really exiled.
I exiled myself, but I don't mean to speak ill of someone who I am sure is in some form of mortal peril right now, but
Probably. Yeah.
Renault was not a very good leader, and
No one could be as good as you.
that's true.
true, but within his own right, he was a bit hasty, short-sighted, and many people. I had worried that there would be those who contested my return after leaving so suddenly. Turns out I was missed a bit.
Who wouldn't?
So
Who wouldn't miss you?
I assure you, there is no reason to worry about
Okay.
exile.
Shoo.
I will say it is a very good thing, though, she turns back to Violet. It's a very good thing that you have undergone this change, as I don't know how opinions of Arcus are, but since you are no longer her,
Mm.
that is helpful. You are a new person. You look different enough that I don't think it'll come across as an issue. So you
I
shouldn't have
see.
too many problems traversing.
Hmm.
He like stops for a moment, looks to Peria.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you don't talk to Empress Peridia, though.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was hoping.
That
to-
moment will live in
follow-
my mind rent free for the rest of eternity, but I don't think you should speak to Empress Peridia.
No.
I think
Can
she's
I
still a bit sore about that.
apologize for that.
If you feel that you can be
I feel-
sincere enough in apologizing, that may be an option.
It's
Maybe
complicated.
wait to the fall area.
Okay, I'll
Cause
just wait
if-
outside.
Yeah.
I'll just wait outside.
The last thing I
Just a suggestion. That was quite the
Yeah, that was bad. I
quite
know.
the exit.
I
You did.
regret it. Sort of. Not
I
really.
don't. If it means
That's
anything.
not.
but-
Really. Yeah. Poor. Anyways,
It was in poor taste.
very poor taste.
But honestly, she needed it.
Yeah, I know.
If the constellation the old we found it hilarious.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I wasn't here for it.
Well, let's.
It's true. Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Nope.
as you're sitting there, Hazen leans across to Mira and like leans forward. You both. Peria used like a spell to show an image of Peridia, and Castellus like did his paw in front of all the emperors.
Oh
It was
my.
amazing.
It was the dark time, okay?
It was a
I
very
just
dark
thumbs up.
time.
I just
This
thumbs up
was
after he
like
tells.
right after Camille's
Okay.
death. The party split. You guys were exiled. This was a bad day.
Bad time. It was a bad time.
Yeah.
It was a very bad time.
Honestly, good job.
Wow. Paria.
Look, I turned over a new leaf.
Mm.
Speaking of which, are you still blonde right now, or have you done the hair?
I'm
thing yet?
still blonde.
Still blonde. Okay.
Still blonde.
Wasn't
Yeah,
sure
we
if
can get you
the
some hair dye for
wardrobe.
that if you want.
I figured. I mean, my mom's hair is gorgeous. I'm sure I could go to the same place that my mom goes.
Oh, actually, that brings up a wonderful point. You've brought this invitation to me. I'm assuming you all are going to be attending this event as well.
Indeed.
Yes.
Mhm.
Have you anything to wear?
No.
Oh, I already have some ideas.
He just
I-
immediately stands.
Do not.
Paisane, why don't you finish up your pig? Ladies, follow
Oh,
me. She
Oh,
just
okay.
immediately
Okay.
leads you guys off.
I'll be
Yes.
back, Kaisi.
Yes, please.
Doop doop doo.
Are you gonna leave the cat with the cat?
I mean, she made Kieran technically be male, so.
Yeah. The cats are sitting and just eating. Medea, you go along with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, damn,
Absolutely.
Boss ass room.
And so, as she leans you into her her personal chambers, the shelves over here, it's technically more like two giant wardrobes that she begins to pull out different fragments, beautiful silks, gowns, a few that look almost like like they're glistening with like magical light that seemed like enchanted silken like cloth that a wizard could wear that would still give them some defense potentially. She like holds one up against Peria and it's like, red does suit you well as it should, but and she like just starts kind of going into this whole thing, and each of you is given full access to
Oh my gosh,
the Empress's
yes.
wardrobe for anything you may wish. She does have a great array of red hues, primarily
well, that's what I'm
red
looking
and
for,
gold.
baby.
Red and gold are her
Red
two
and gold.
colors.
Mhm.
There's not
Yep.
a whole lot
Fantastic.
else. So if it's nothing that's quite what you're looking for, you can decline, but she gives you a full access to her wardrobe.
Bro,
and
I already have like a whole fucking thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Megan sent me her ideas, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I need to see this art, like, immediately.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Paisane's out there. I could wear something nice, too.
Yeah.
Do you want a dress, Paisane?
No!
No.
You know what? I'm gonna go to my room. I have one of those. Paisane's gonna go and go get himself something nice to wear.
Kieran's gonna really jump back up and start chopping on the nips and the leftovers.
Yeah, cat starts gorging itself on the leftovers.
I love that.
But yeah, as you guys, unless there's anything else in particular you wanted to do, we can say you guys spend the evening with Empress Orlith the Crimson, picking out clothes, and she has one of the wardrobes. She opens, it's half clothes, half is just a wall of just jewelry and different accessories. She comes over to Peria, and that specific thing you were looking for, she looks, I think she would tell you this was. There are various yeah, actually, you are technically a princess here in a way.
She's a princess.
This is essentially like a what's the word? Not like
Princess
royal
Diaries thing.
jewels kind of situation where it's
Fuck yeah.
this is it's a crown of phoenix wings that kind of frame.
Ooh.
Not enchanted, just extremely beautiful and delicate and ornate. It's kind of a smaller version of what she herself has. Hers has wings that come out to the side, as well as like a little crown point to the top, set with gems, primarily rubies.
This is why you're the
yours-
main character. You're the Disney
Yes,
princess of the group.
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Beautiful.
And so she says, I'd really appreciate if you didn't wear this into battle too often. If you do, we may need to get it enchanted with something to increase its durability, but for this event,
I will just wear it for this event, and then we'll
I
talk
think it
later.
would be lovely. And she looks over to Violet. I believe I may have a matching smaller one. I apologize. I don't have too many duplicates of something of this craft, but I can have something made as well if you would like.
I
Okay.
appreciate it, mother.
Oh, okay. I got literally like 3 messages at once. Fucking clothes. Okay.
Clothes
Hold
are
on a
the
moment.
important thing.
Yeah.
You gotta look good. You gotta feel good, look good.
You can't fight crime if you ain't cute. I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
Can't go no ball
Ooh,
looking
oh, Becky.
raggedy.
Oh,
Yes.
Medea
I
is.
know.
Oh my God! Yes.
Well, she's
think-
gonna drop Pisces shots on the floor.
Honestly,
I
everything
ain't
in this.
showing it to him until the ball.
Honestly, Orlith can provide pretty much everything in this document. Like that's exactly her aesthetic, pretty much.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Oh.
Anything else that you would need, like that she doesn't have, you know, Dior also
Mhm.
gave you
Mhm.
carte blanche, like tailor access. Fuck, Chris, that's beautiful. That's
I mean, if we're
we're all
going
gonna
like
match.
reddish, pink, I
We all
mean,
going red? We all
Yeah,
going
we're all-
It's all
of course.
pretty much.
Look, we're not playing
Even
favorites
AJ,
to
even
a
that
house.
has enough red that yeah, I think that would be
I tried to keep it
That's
reddish, you know, because crimson.
yeah, no. I think even honestly, I think even Pyzane's, because I'm basically gonna just he never actually wears this outfit. I think I'm gonna have him actually wear his commissioned outfit.
Yes.
Oh.
Which
Yes.
yes, I'll put this into art as a reminder.
Mm.
He's not actually wearing this right now, but that's like his Crimson Warden attire.
Right.
Very nice.
Show chat.
So you guys will pretty much match. It's a
As
lot
you
of
should.
red. I love it. A lot of red and gold.
Look, red is a
Beautiful.
power color. We're making
It
statements.
is. It
Mm,
is.
mm.
That's great.
Mm.
But yes, she provides Peria with essentially like a little like phoenix tiara that has like these wings that drape down the sides. Violet, if you want something as well, Orlith would happily have it commissioned if there's any like accessories you want, maybe like a hair ornament or something if you're not feeling the crown look.
Brace the crown.
Embrace the crown.
Brace the crown.
He's actually not sure because
I
never
think-
accessorized before.
Orlith also would come to Violet and hold your hands at one point and say, "Everyone already knows Peria is my heir, as was announced at the meeting before the rite. If you would be willing, I think this event would be a wonderful time. As you know, everyone, he says, as you know, you might not. At events like these, everyone is announced in with a title and name. I would be honored if you would come with me as daughter of the Crimson. I would like to let the world know that I have 2 daughters, not one."
Yeah.
Uh,
Squeak.
Violet would just like give him a warm smile. Very much like that.
Then it shall be so. And of course, looking to Medea and Mira, you will
Mm.
have full run of my wardrobe, even if you are not my daughters. But thank
I
you
just look-
very.
Like, how much did these cost?
You know, I'm honestly, I don't
Gold
really
plated.
know. That's a good question. Probably more than we should think about, really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Money's kind of been, well, it's kind of lost a lot of its meaning since we've been on this journey. Like, how much money has actually gone through our hands?
You know, they say that about the
100,000.
adventuring life, is it has its risks and its rewards.
It definitely does.
Having to battle the ancient dragons is a problem, but raiding their hordes is quite the nice reward.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously was born into a degree of finance. I can't really say I have any idea of. Well, no, I had a good trial run as a receptionist for a while. That was interesting. I had to actually think about how much money I was spending for a bit.
You
It
had to
was-
deal with the public.
wasn't
I
a
mean, she
problem.
does that here too.
Yeah,
The
the
public of
budget.
Renati was quite nice, I'll say. They were better than I was expecting. But it was such a fun little adventure. Like you're just looking at this empress who's like, Man, a 9 to 5 day job was just such a little treat.
Yeah.
It was so quaint.
Mhm.
Gosh. Love that.
Mm,
Um,
it was interesting.
I mean, I feel like, you know what? Yes, please. I would also like one like Parias. That way they can see just us
I
matching.
agree fully. I will have it done. I will make sure it is ready in time for this event.
Thank you.
Thank you, genuinely.
I don't, of course, I don't know what I did.
Wonderful. Making a note of that.
By the way, Steltic is making soup.
Yes.
Good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
As we're doing all this stuff, also we hear two cats going at it as Camille and Kieran finally meet.
oh
Oh.
yeah, your cat. I keep forgetting you
Oh,
have a cat named
jeez.
Camille.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, right.
That's right. That's right. They are here. Yeah, you definitely hear two cats having a moment that I like
Oh,
not
okay.
happy kind of sound.
No fighting, no fighting.
Move the other one away. To the Fey realm you go!
Then I also pick up Camille and come back.
Oh yeah. Camille does one swipe at Kieran.
Yeah.
Camille does that thing where like a cat sees a cucumber and jumps upside down backwards and then runs away. Also, cats are weirdly afraid of cucumbers.
Yeah.
It's a strange
Yeah.
They hate
phenomenon I
'em.
don't
It's
understand.
so weird. So strange.
Okay. So she supplies you all with various bits and pieces for your outfits. Each of you is gifted, if not a full wardrobe, at least enough that you have a basis to build off of for the ball. As you might not have a lot of time with your hectic schedule to get otherwise. Your schedule. She offers for you. You can either take them with you now. You know, she knows you have bags of holding that can keep them in good condition, but also knows you might be fighting demons or dragons or something. And if you'd like, she can have them brought with her when she comes to the ball, as there will be time before the event, most certainly, to prepare. Sure.
Gotta get
So,
ready.
up to
Mhm.
you.
Mine can stay.
Same.
I'll put mine in my bag of holding.
Okay. Just make sure whoever's taking it mark down you took like crimson attire or something, crimson
Yeah.
gown, something to that effect.
I will mark it in my bag.
In the bag it goes.
Gosh, yeah. Sorry, I keep getting messages from various people.
Sorry.
No, it's not just you. It's fine. I've gotten some. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. We're definitely gonna
watch-
need to get art of the
Yeah.
ball. Like
For sure.
that's gonna be the next group photo for sure. It's gotta be.
We were watching Devil Wears Prada last night, so this is very fitting.
Nice.
Again, oh, that's a good movie. I love that movie.
It is. It's very good.
Oh, great. Okay. So, you guys spend your evening whining and dining with the royalty of Crimson, picking out beautiful clothing and discussing plans for the future. You are all invited to spend the evening in the palace, and then perhaps in the morning, because it is at this point getting to like 8-9 p.m. Shops closing and such. In the morning, if you would like, you can have your walk of the city. If I don't think she would. I think she would awkwardly offer her daughters, like, I could have someone bring beds to the room if you wanted to stay with me here. There are guest chambers on the floor below as well, of course.
How big is this bed? Oh, we could fit.
The three of you could fit in the bed, sure. Yeah,
No. What is, I have a question, unrelated,
certainly.
but related. But what is the time difference from here and Gardas? Like 12
Oh,
hours?
dramatic.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me pull up. Actually, let's go to the world map real quick.
I know they're like opposite ends of the spectrum.
You need to like draw lines on this map and make time zones at this point.
I'll have to, honestly. Oh, this is so easy. Oh, I love the folder feature. It's so nice. So this map is
I like-
extremely bare bones basic map, but yeah. So you guys are here in Levatos, over in the Susail Empire in the northwestern section of the world. Gardas is the northeastern section. It's not as far as you like. Dane would be the absolute farthest like point across the map, but yes, if we're counting time zones laterally. Gardas is roughly, I don't know, 10 hours ahead of you, roughly.
Ooh.
So, you know,
Okay.
it's 8 p.m. here, it's like 6 a.m. there, or something, or 4 a.m. there, something to that effect. Why?
I'll wait.
Oh, you're messaging, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Of course.
But I'll wait.
Just like that, I can select all. Oh, this is so good. Sorry, it's just there's a
Quality
feature
of
where
life.
I can literally hit like select all and grab you all and drag you into any map. I don't have to like hunt the. Oh, it's so
Oh, I
nice.
didn't. Oh, God, you don't have to hunt down the
Yeah.
bookmark anymore.
No, because I can just go to the party tab section and there's a select all and I can grab you all and just drag you to whatever map I want.
Ugh.
It's so nice. Thank
That
you,
is so-
Roll20, for quality of life features. After using you for 3 years straight, thank you for finally doing this.
Yes.
This is why I pay for Roll20. So I can feel good.
Yeah.
Anyways. But yeah, you guys have offered rooms. It's like a floor below. There's no guest rooms on this floor. This floor is entirely for the Empress. It's for security purposes, and obviously she's the Empress. She gets her own fucking floor.
yeah.
But there is the floor below. You guys have like essentially rooms they reserve for like if like visiting nobility would come, those who or like high-ranking diplomatic officials, which you technically are at this point, as coming on behalf of the newly to-be crowned king of the Holy Land. You do technically have diplomatic immunity if you want to wave it around a bit, because
No.
if anyone messes with you, they're messing with the soon-to-be king of another region. But yeah, you guys. Is there anything else you wanted to accomplish before bedding down for the evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's gonna do some training before.
Okay. All right.
Which she would inform her mother she was going to do so if she wanted to watch.
Right. She probably would.
Did we go to the hot springs?
Yeah, that is an option. You could go in
Why
the
not?
evening. They are open in the evenings.
Oh.
If you would like to go there before bed, that is certainly an option.
Hot springs.
I'll just put us on the general Levatos map, whether you're at the Crimson Throne or elsewhere. In fact, let me grab the character tokens. So we're going to be dividing people around a bit, potentially.
Because we're only staying. Well, we're only staying for what, a night or whatever.
You were gonna stay for a day, but that's true. Is if you came in the night, if you're planning to leave like tomorrow afternoon time, you probably wouldn't do the springs before. That's probably fair. If you're gonna do the springs,
Yeah.
now probably would be the time.
Well, I don't know, because Perry still has to go back to the Holy Land. I don't know when
The
during the
Holy
day,
Land's
so...
ahead of schedule, so I could go in the
Schedule.
early morning of Susail time, pop out
That's
mid-morning
true.
other
That's true. It
time,
would be early
and then
morning
come
here,
back.
but like mid-afternoon-ish to there. That's true.
Man, that tree
Yeah.
lag is probably serious.
Tree lag is rough.
Tree lag.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
sleeping.
actually, yeah, you guys are definitely maybe even not ready for bed yet. Like or it's like time for everyone to have a bed, and you're like, I could stay up for like 4 more hours. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because you technically traveled that way, so it's
Mhm.
earlier in the day for you. Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
You probably gained some hours.
Oh,
I'm younger.
That is not how that works.
So
Oh.
then, yeah,
You
I've traveled back in time
That. Yeah.
7 hours, if even that. So, as Orlith prepares, Orlith herself is not of advanced age. She's an elf. She's full elf. That's why you are a half elf. She's like in her 200s maybe at most. You don't actually know her exact age, but she looks rather young for an elf even. So she's not like ready for bed at 7 p.m. either. So she and Violet do some training, primarily Violet, but Orlith watching and taking notes and perhaps offering advice. We'll get to that in just a moment. Who would like to visit the springs in the evening?
So get some of the dust from Perry up before she leaves.
What was that, AJ?
She's gonna get some of the dust from Perry up before she leaves.
Yes, good idea.
And Perry would ask to borrow comfort.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so am I to take it everyone else is going to the springs for the evening?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will meet the group there.
Why would you wait? Are you too good to walk there?
No, it's not that. I wanted to make some messages, and I would just meet you there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we'll say for the sake of time, you guys find
You got your
yourselves there.
mom's
But
crown.
I'm not wearing it. Not yet.
as the rest of you leave the Crimson Throne, Violet still in the room with Orlith. You prepare the materials. You take this crushed blue stone, this true kite, and Orlith fetches for a bucket as you instruct her what you need, and some water. You crush it. It's already been crushed. You take it. You put it in the water. Mix it until the water has this like deep blue hue, and you take a roll of bandages and soak them in this chitin water, creating what you know to be like extremely cheap knockoff of what Auraplate does, which is where you bandage yourself with this stone infused bandage. It blocks the flow of aura to specific points in the body, almost like channeling chi or chakras or something to that effect, but in Elkin sense of channeling your aura to specific points, so you can focus it into a heightened state called Exalted Flame. And so Orlith assists you with applying these bandages. It is a little difficult on your own, as it is kind of more or less full body wrap. It takes time. Same way it would take time to don armor, it takes you time to don these wraps across your body from like the neck down. There's like some gaps at like the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Points of flexibility get mostly like where the joints are, that you get the vents that you know the aura is going to jettison out like almost like an energy blade of sorts, like a release point. She helps you get set up with this. And then she just sort of steps back and is curious and just sort of patiently watching. Violet, I'm going to have you start by giving me a Constitution save.
Okay.
And you cannot flare for advantage for obvious reasons.
Alright. As she does this, can I burst? And then with my bonus action that I gain from burst, full turn, I am going to activate Aura Flight, and then going to punch and spend the full 5 red aura.
Sure.
Okay, so first full turn is 10, and then the maximum flight, I believe, is 6.
I'd have to look at Aura Flight. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Aura Flight, maximum amount is 10.
Okay, so that's 20, and then the full 5 red aura puts to 25.
25 aura spent as you, in one fluid motion, activate two arts?
2 arts.
2 arts plus a natural ability of aura. In one motion, your aura flares suddenly and very
Oh, come
brightly.
on.
Okay,
I have
12.
a plus fucking 10.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
That is correct. Okay. You have this aura emerge from your body, and once again, like you feel it coming at all parts, and it strains against the parts that you've bandaged as they are designed to block the flow of aura, and you feel it burst out erratically at the points where your joints are. It's not a steady flow. It's just like a flare of aura, then another flare, then another flare, and it's almost like it's backfiring at a point. You see like one of the bandages actually like bubbles up, like there's too much pressure under it, and like little flare out as there's a small gap, and you have to like correct it in the middle, and you keep pushing this aura. You may attempt another Constitution save. The DC does increase for failures. However, you can use more abilities or more aura to try and cancel it out, as the amount of aura you're expending is adding to your ability to succeed.
Absolutely. She's literally going to do the same thing, which is going to be, so that's going to be double from burst, being 20.
It'll be
then
35 total then.
Yep. Putting me
This
at
is another
50.
10. That is a lot of decay. Yes. Okay.
Burst is 7 for a whole turn, not 10.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
That is
Oh,
correct.
okay.
It's 7.
Yes,
so
that is
you're-
correct.
You're
Okay,
saving a
So
so
go
few.
down by 3 from the last
Yeah.
time.
You're
and
thinking of
now up-
Arsenal.
Correct.
So 14, then 24, then 29. So then that puts me at 49.
Jesus.
That's still a lot of decay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Give me another Constitution save.
Oh, come
That's a check, not a
on.
save.
That's a check. That's a check. You didn't do save this time. That's what
Oh.
add 7 to that for 21.
Okay, good.
As you are pushing all this aura out, you feel the decay building and building. After a moment, you see Orlith, who had taken a step back and like actually sat down to watch, and she actually has like a quill and parchment, and she's like making notes of like your technique and your form, and like, you know, full body coverage of aura resistant wraps, and activated burst, activated flight. Like she's trying to figure out. You mentioned you had like, I think you mentioned you had some form of like reason that this is what you think. Like you're not just spending aura. You have a regiment you've been doing for 4 months.
Talk to in Aurora in Zazan.
I don't know if you told her that is what I'm saying. It's like she
Oh,
knows
yeah.
that there's something to your strategy here that she's trying to figure out herself. And as you reach this point of like nearing 50 decay, she actually does like stand up for a moment and like takes a step forward. And as you're pushing all of this aura, there is a moment where all of the bandages tighten for a second reflexively, as all of the aura that was under those is redirected to the single focus points that you have set around the body. And in a moment of just like exertion and stress, you have sweat beating your forehead, pain racking your body as decay sets in, exhaustion is setting in, you're extremely tired. You know you're not far from your limit, even though your vessel's expanded a little bit. 50 decay is still pretty damn close. And there's a moment where you feel you're about to give out, you're about to collapse, you're about to just pass out, and then suddenly a jet of violet flame arcing at an angle from your wrist, like a curved blade of solid violet, arcs out, and you hold it for a second, and you look down almost in surprise at it, and you turn your hand and it moves with you, and it kind of makes like a small sound as it adjusts, and it kind of goes off course and then stabilizes as it's this flexible energy blade of your pure aura focused at one singular point. And just as you're acknowledging the "I did it," it flares out. You fall to a knee, exhausted beyond belief. But that is a successful attempt towards Exalted Flame. I will mark that.
Hell yeah.
You feel you are a step closer to understanding how you could maintain this state. I think, Violet, with how much you had to exert to reach that point, you do also feel like even when you learn how to use this, you know it will not be for long. You would need years of training to do this for as long as the Aurora Elite of old once did. I think almost like a moment of success in learning this has made it more obvious to you how incredible it is that people were able to do this for a whole day of fighting. This was some sort of like constant state they could enter for a whole battle. And it has contextualized for you what you are trying and what you saw Chorus use against you in a battle and how long he must have trained. I think Violet knows at this point there is benefit to continuing this personal training, certainly, but it would be a lot easier if you had input from somebody who's already mastered it, who could point you a little bit further down the path, and that maybe seeking out someone like Chorus, or even maybe a Soren with some time, would be valuable. But as you fall to a knee, your aura flares out and like dissipates, and you are just heaving and as your body is racked with decay. Orlith immediately runs over, kneels down next to you. Dear, are you okay? Breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. She reaches out and picks up a bell and just bling, ling, 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 and you see people rushing in through her door. 3 or 4 people with a white aura flared immediately who come over, pick you up, like 2 on each side, and push you into bed. And you might be struggling, like, it's fine, I can walk, but they just like heft you up, put you in bed, and 2 on each side immediately begin aura light purifying away the decay as the Empress has decreed to immediately purify one of her daughters. There is an urgency and a haste to this that you might be like, I'm not that close to dying. They are acting like you are on death's door. And within the matter of maybe 10 minutes at most, they have cleansed away your 49 decay. And even after your decay is done, and you're like, I'm good, I can get up. One of them puts a hand against your forehead, pushes you against the bed, pulls a sheet up over you, and places like a cold cloth over your head. And they begin giving a report to Orlith of like condition, vitals, prognosis of like how much rest you should have, and she's thanking them and ushering them out as you are left in the room with your mother in like this state of care that I don't think Violet has ever had before. And there might be a moment where like it's a little frustrating to be doted on this much, but as you're left alone with your mother, who comes over and kneels next to you, she puts her hand on you. I'm sorry if that was a bit of an overreaction on their parts, but I did tell them there was a chance you could die. I've heard of people using Exalted Flame and burning themselves up in the process, so... Are you okay?
To be honest, Mom, that's actually not the worst I've ever been, so yeah.
I don't need to know that, dear.
Sorry.
That doesn't help. But I'm glad that you can contextualize it that way, at least. I will say, though, I think you almost had it for a moment there.
I know. I'm just like the moment, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
That was
4 months of training.
incredible. I wish I had more notes I could give, but honestly, I was just as perplexed about the whole thing. It seems like it's just a burst of apparently enormous amounts of decay, and then somehow you have to stabilize it, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, actually, see, the reason I know is I met an Aurora elite in the Zant, and she told me how it works.
Yes, I remember from the reports now. That's right.
And during my original training, I realized the more arts you know that flood your body with aura, the better. And I fortunately have two.
Even so, 2 is more than a lot of people in this world. Arts are rare and difficult to master. I have heard that the Aurora Elite were capable of using all of them eventually, but I think even I myself have only mastered 3 or 4. It will take time.
Yeah.
I don't know about having it done before the ball, unfortunately, but it's fine. I think you should go in a dress rather than a suit of armor anyways, if it's my opinion.
Yes, and who knows? Maybe I'll have to focus more on learning how to use my violet aura once I see the Sphinx.
Perhaps. Speaking of which, it seems that everyone has gone off to these hot springs. I did want to ask, I know your group has this other mission. Were you looking to travel there this evening, or?
Seeing as you have a teleport, I will need to do something first before going, though.
I would also ask that you tell the others, or have some form of messenger. I will not play part to any sort of shenanigans on that part.
Don't worry, like jingle one of the earring on her ear. I can literally just message Mira
that's
with
lovely.
this.
Oh, it's functional too. Impressive.
It's actually a custom item made by what was his name?
Avery.
Avery.
The young boy from Maya's atelier.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
he's so
aura
sweet.
earrings.
Interesting. I'll have to, if I ever stop by, well, I guess when I stop by for the event, I may have to stop by his shop then sometime.
Yes. Before I go, do you happen to have, of course you would, ink, brush, and a blank scroll?
Wait right here a moment. And you see, like, you're still in bed. Like, she hasn't gestured to, like, get you up out of bed. She reaches over and gently kisses your forehead, and she steps up and heads over to get the supplies. And it's like this. You're still tucked in. Not a child. Violet is like taller than anyone. Your feet might be dangling a little bit over the edge of the bed because you're so tall. But there's a small moment of like, is this what it's like to have a mom? That kind of crosses over Violet's mind, as though you do have the memories of what Q10 went through as a child. There was a lot more sadness, unfortunately, in your past.
It's very nice.
And as she comes back and hands you the parchment and the ink, she takes a seat on the bed next to you.
So upset at that point. So, what this is for, my time as a normal elfin child was limited, but
yes,
even then, her parents, I suppose my biological parents, had a tradition. I don't know if this was a tradition widespread to sail back then, or if it was just my family.
Well, you are from a crimson era of long before myself, so who knows?
Yes. Essentially, what this is going to be is I'm going to write down in as few words as possible all of the good deeds I have done so far. Then, once I was done, I would roll up the scroll, put the name of the very first ancestor in the lineage, and then I would leave that scroll at a dedication shrine to them, and it would theoretically bring honor to the entire lineage, as all the good deeds we have done up to that point would then be spread to the family line.
As you describe this, say the rest of you are not here, but you guys are up at the bed. She would actually gesture for you to follow her as you were describing this ritual.
Oh.
And I'll bring everyone into the hall so you guys can see as well.
Yay.
And she'll bring you to a shrine in her hall. And you see on it there are a few pictures, one of which of an elven man of similar appearance, but still rather lithe and almost androgynous in features, of a man wearing emperor's regalia that looks similar to Orlith. She's like holding your hand and gestures. Some traditions live on, even over 900 years.
Oh.
She, there's like several pictures, and you see like the foremost one, like the largest one. She gestures to, and you see she lights like a candle in front of it. This is Orland, my brother. He passed before the last rite.
I see.
I would be happy to add your ancestor to this shrine,
Thank you.
since you are family now.
I very much appreciate that, Mother.
Let's do it together then. And as the two of you partake in this ancient Susalian tradition of honoring the dead, we will
She'll
shift
have to make
over
2 scrolls then, because one's for the Sphinx.
for the Sphinx.
That's
Okay.
the offering she has.
Okay.
Because
Then
technically, if the Sphinx had not guarded her for 800 years, she wouldn't be here.
sure. Understandable. So, as you guys, as you do that with your mother, we will transition over. You said, Perry, you would catch up. Is there something you did on the way over to the Crimson Springs?
Yeah, I was gonna send a F ton of messages so other people can go.
Okay, well, actually, do you mind if we take a quick break? I need to use the
Yeah.
restroom real quick.
Yeah, that works.
Take like a 10-minute and come back at
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah.
Unless people wanted to stop for food, we could do a little longer, but I'm good with just 10 minutes.
We
if
ate
that's good.
before, so I'm good with just
Yeah.
15.
Let's just do 15. Yeah, 6:35. We'll come back. I need to go use the restroom, and then we can come back and pick up with Stiff.
All right, sounds good. See you in a
We'll be
bit.
back in a bit.
All right, chat. We'll be back here shortly. Yep, I'm gonna go get a little snack. You guys get a snack, do whatever you guys need to, and we'll see you in a bit. Return with Peria's messages.
I mean, this is Imperial hospitality. Perry is in the name of the thing, so
Technically, her name is
My name.
Imperia, so
yeah.
that's because it's pretentious like that. All right, so yes, as we come back, Violet is with her mother doing this ritual to honor the dead, and the group has wandered into the city. I'll say also, the city of Levatos at night is beautifully lit by hundreds and hundreds of open flame torches that like line the walkways, giving this like orangish red hued glow to the city around. There's also these particularly larger sentry-like towers that you do see across the city with these enormous deeper they're a deeper red than that. They're like a deep red crimson flame, as it is, they had those similarly in Kalos, the central city, as each of the districts had this like aura flame that signified the district for each of the 5 houses. And so the night It's actually quite active at night. A lot of like the major shops have closed, but there's a lot of taverns and bars and restaurants and such open, especially as you get closer through the city towards the hot springs at the end, where there is a almost constant hub of activity at night, you feel. But as you're dividing out throughout the street, I think Paisan and Medea probably go arm in arm together through the streets. At one point, Peria maybe breaks off from Mira and takes a couple paces back, I imagine, as she's
Yes.
walking and focusing on spellcraft at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Peria, you have some messages you'd like to send.
Yes, I would actually like to take comfort out and
Yes, you mentioned
go
that.
above.
That's right.
Hmm.
Okay, I think
Hang out.
Bye.
I think
I
Paisan
would have done that earlier.
No, yeah, I think that makes sense. Paisan would suggest to Medea that they walk through the city instead, and maybe Mira and Peria take the cloud. Unless Mira wanted to go along with
It's
Paisan and
fine. It
Medea
don't
as well.
matter. It don't matter to me.
As long as
Is
Peria
Mira
doesn't
going, I should
mind,
specify.
yes. As long as Peria doesn't mind having someone on the cloud, didn't want alone time.
I wanted alone time.
She wanted
Okay,
the
okay. This is
I'm
Mira.
sorry.
Mira is unfortunately the fifth
third
wheel in this case.
Oh,
Where
no.
Paisan, you see like both Peria and like Paisan like off the side. Paisan's like, Mira, you could go with Peria, and then Peria's like, no, you can walk with Paisan. Like,
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
No,
I'll come pick
it's
you up later.
fine.
I mean, we all wanted to go to the springs eventually, so.
I mean, if you want to wait around for like 20 minutes.
I'll just go ahead.
wait, the three of us can go. Me and Medea will just hang back like 20 paces or so.
Yeah.
You know, it can still be a lovely walk through the city with your sister here. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It makes it less awkward. I could have done this like before we decided to
Nope,
go.
this
to
is
the
happening.
late.
It's too
Very
late.
awkward.
Oh!
It's too late.
No!
The damage is done.
Oh man!
So as you guys awkwardly
Mhm.
divide out, Peria, as you
please.
are
Yeah.
flying above the city on this cloud, you would note like there are some other clouds in the night sky. So like as yours rises up out of like the range of the orangish light, it kind of just joins with the cloud. Like you're well below the clouds, but you feel like anyone who looks up would just see another cloud traveling along the city, and you feel for the moment that you are perfectly alone.
Okay. I'll send first a message to Blue Boy. Oh god, I forgot his name.
Avosi?
Avosi?
Avosi, yes. I didn't need
Okay.
privacy for this one, but
Okay.
hey Avosi, quick question. Tomorrow morning-ish, could you please teleport me back to Susail?
You'll look at something real quick.
Oh, I forgot about his ring. He might not be like, fuck you, no.
The specific text of the ring is you cannot be spoken to telepathically by creatures other than the ones you choose. I don't think there's a reason he would have unchosen Peria since you're time traveling together, so it's perfectly fine. After a moment, time difference.
Oh, it's like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Probably.
What? When? Where? Why? Who? And that's like the whole message, as you feel like he was awoken and maybe slightly drunk or tipsy still.
Nice. Excellent. Great.
Good, excellent.
Yeah. Nah, I'll just leave him at that. Just wake him up.
Meanwhile, in Renati, and in his own personal room at the morning brew, Bosi sits up straight. Just falls back over into bed.
Alright, well, maybe he'll remember in the morning.
Yeah, he's gonna wake up in like 4 hours. Like,
Yeah,
is that Perry? What the fuck?
Oh, weird
it's just a
dream.
dream.
It's just a dream.
He could always message you
Yeah,
when you were still
Yeah.
sleeping.
yeah, probably. That's fair. Alright. It's what time? 8 o'clock? 8:30?
8:30. We'll say.
8:30? Great. Send a message to Vivian.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll be like 8-ish in the morning there, like 7, 6 in the morning. Early morning for them
Early
over
morning.
there.
Good morning. Do you have 20 minutes to spare today? Now? If not, totally fine. Can wait. That's it.
The reply comes fairly quickly. Oh, good morning. I absolutely could spare some time. Give me 10 minutes? Still in my morning routine.
She gotta pee.
She got her in the toilet. That's it. That's exactly it.
Alright, I'll wait 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then do the thing. I'll scratch.
Sitting up on the cloud above Levatos, as you sit there and wait out a bit of time, like twiddling your thumbs, the wind brushes by, and there's like, you feel like normally when you descend this high up, you'd be a little bit chilly, but as you glance over, you are like at
The mountain.
equal level to like
Yes.
the caldera of the mountain to the north of you, and you can actually kind of see into it, and it's interesting. There is like a plume of smoke coming out of the top of the volcano, which you'd immediately be like, oh god, it's an active volcano, we're all going to die eventually. But you actually see what it is ringing the inside of the caldera is all manner of workshops carved into the side of the volcano
Ooh.
from the inside, from like internally, as they like kind of spiral down the inside of the caldera. And you can kind of actually like, get like a little, from this view, you get a glimpse of all the forges of people who have set up these foundries for volcanic steel. And there's like a moment where the sky is dark. There's like an orangish glow from Mount Levitain, the glow beneath you, and it's very calm and peaceful. And then
I'm
you
pretty as shit.
get pretty, very pretty as well. And after a moment, you get a message of 15. No, you wait.
I'll wait.
You
Yeah.
message after 15 minutes.
I'm gonna scry in 15 minutes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 minutes or so, you begin the scry. She permits it, and you see her. She doesn't have her full order attire yet. Just like a loose blouse that she's like currently buttoning up a jacket that she's like pulling it on. As you see her getting herself ready, her hair is loose at the moment, and she's tying it up and brushing it out of her eyes as the scry sensor picks up. And you see after a moment, she goes to her desk, like you're watching her in this scry moment, and she reaches in, pulls out a folded up scroll. You actually see she's got like 4 or 5 identical scrolls with a gilded edge on it, and she plucks one out, unravels it, and begins to cast the scry spell from a scroll, to not take up her limited spells for the day. And she casts the spell. She has a small like bowl like mirror in front of her, of water in front of her, mirror like water bowl. Words came out weird there. And as she begins her scry, and you feel that sensor appear near you, and you allow the save, and you have once again that strange connection where you can both see and hear each other through scry. So you don't
FaceTime.
have to expend. It's essentially magical FaceTiming. It's actually pretty clever. And you see Vivian before you. Is it hopefully not something troubling?
What?
Are you in the sky?
I
Are you in a
am.
cloud?
I am.
Where the hell? Like, it's like you can tell because of how Scry works. You're seeing all around her office. She's seeing the volcano in the background, and she's like, "Oh, I'm only aware of a few volcanoes. You're not at K Lunaris, are you?"
No, I'm actually home, and I wanted to show you home.
Oh, Levatos.
Yeah.
Huh. I had forgotten about Susail, to be honest. It hadn't been on my. It wasn't in my periphery for so long.
Fair.
It's nice.
Yeah. I just wanted to have you have a break from probably awful routine of playing double agent.
It's not. It's not that bad. I'm falling into it rather well. You know, it's kind of ironic some days that the training that they gave me, I'm using to trick them. Find that a bit satisfying sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
this is that. This is this.
if you just like pointing
And
out
over
spots,
there is the Alabaster clan territory.
you can see like
Way
in the
over there.
way in the distance there is like a hump of a mountain just on the horizon. It's like, oh,
That formless shape all the way over there.
that's where my supposed mother lives then.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, this is nice at least.
Yeah. Kind of inside that interesting. I think I already know, but I'm
Sure.
curious. Alright.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Sorcery point.
Okay.
Oh, even worse. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
you know Vivian is extremely guarded, like almost at all
Yeah.
times as her
100%.
standard
Yeah.
way. It looks like she just brushed it off as like, oh, that's interesting.
No, it's fine. Nothing to see here.
Well, it's nice to see that you have a moment of reprieve. That is, I'm very glad for you.
I did also want to ask some heavy questions, or a heavy question.
Okay, that sounds more like it. Okay.
I know. I just wanted to,
No, actually, it's
break,
comforting.
and
I
then,
think I was a little bit angry at first when I saw that you were just relaxing on a cloud in the middle of
Yeah.
the fucking sky, and I'm, neck
in
deep
an
in.
awful, yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
okay, let's get to the heavy stuff. That'll probably be better.
Yep. I have information, and I need to know how much Varys knows. Just know everything that you know. Is it like you can block some of that off? What's
Varys and I have an arrangement of one you're probably very familiar with, of
Yeah.
a warlock and patron.
Sure.
She gives me abilities that allow me to blend in with the Order's needs, allows me to replicate the aura of an apostle without actually being one anymore, which is very helpful. And in return, she has a sort of ever presence in my mind.
Okay. Is there a way that all of us could speak at the same time? Like a,
How many is all? Me, you, and her?
correct.
Yes, I believe so. I have she like reaches into her drawer and pulls out some of those scrolls. And she thumbs through. She's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, like of the what you see are scry scrolls essentially. And then she reaches in the back and she pulls out one that has like this strange, like bluish, silvery, metallic sheen to it. She holds it up. Dream should suffice, I believe.
Cool. Great. Whenever that fits into your schedule.
Well, I happen to notice it is nighttime for you, so how about you message me right before you go to bed, and I can cast this sometime. Hopefully, it will be in the next couple of hours. I
Yep.
have a brief window of time in the morning to fill out specific paperwork I can put off till later.
Okay. I'll make it quick. I'll go to sleep early tonight.
Appreciate it.
Just thank you
For what?
I don't know, just you, everything. Just,
Well,
I don't
thank
know.
you too for you.
That was so awkward.
I'm sorry. It's been tense lately. I told you I was gathering a team of people recently for this upcoming excursion into the Cortis ruins, and it's become a bit more difficult than I had expected to field proper agents that I think I might be able to. Either those that I think I could take out if need be, or those that might be sympathetic to our cause. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm going to find in those ruins, but whatever it is, Castellus wants it very, very badly. Apparently, and she once again looks towards the door. And she stands up, just herself, walks over and very carefully latches the door. And you see there's one that she latches that's a lock, and then another she latches, and as she does it, there's this wave of blue over the door, as you feel like it's almost like an arcane lock that she sets. Comes back and sits down. Portis apparently was a famed abjurist, one of his particular fields of magic, and placed some pretty significant barriers around his ruins. It has been the Order's goal for, well, not their goal, but one of their many goals, for generations to wear down these barriers. Apparently, they are so powerful and so thorough that simple dispelling abilities have not been able to breach them. I don't know exactly when, but Castellus believes that soon we will have breached them, and we'll be able to send a team in. I don't know why he's entrusted this to me. I am skeptical and believe that there may be something more to it. Something he's not telling me, and that's what concerns me.
Yep.
I don't know what's in that ruin, but if I find it as something that could help me, help us, I need to make sure that whoever I bring in there with me either doesn't leave or leaves alongside me.
Yeah.
So I apologize if I'm a little
No, on
tense.
edge. I get it. No, that makes sense. Well, not get it. I don't really get it, but I can.
No, I
empathize.
think you under no. What you're doing is very stressful too. I know. What are you doing actually right now?
On a diplomatic mission. Yeah. For the. Can I tell you more in the dream?
That's
okay.
fair. That's nope. She even looks towards the door, and you see her leaning, as if she can as if she's hearing something. That's probably for the best, anyways.
Yeah.
I
to tell you so much.
I will be looking forward to it then.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
We can talk more in the dream as well, but just as a quick note, is there any chance you would be able to arrive in Calcifel within the next few weeks?
Weeks, yes. Days, no. Probably.
Okay.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
All right. I am trying to arrange a trusted acolyte, someone who was put under me that all they really want to do is impress me, it seems. So I'm hoping to use that naivety to my advantage and have them deliver something to a dead drop that perhaps you could pick up.
Yeah.
It would make this whole thing a little bit easier, I think.
Cool. I was thinking similar thought.
Oh, well, that will coordinate in your dreams.
Lovely. Okay.
Very well.
Okay. Stay safe.
You too. On your diplomatic mission in the sky.
Yes. we actually had that. We already went on one of those.
Dream. Tell me
Dream,
about
yes,
the dream.
okay. Goodbye.
And the scribe fades.
I'll zoom down to the mountains.
Okay.
Hereish. Hop off the
Sure.
cloud. Walk the rest of
And
the way.
walk and meet up. Okay.
Yeah.
While you were doing this, Mira, Medea, and Paisane walking through town, you pass by various vendors and food stalls, and Paisane points out the ones that he's always like enjoyed frequenting over the years. And as you guys,
we'll have to try that later.
yeah, actually, as you say that, he's like, okay, and he walks over and just like buys a couple of like these like meat skewers that he shares with you on the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awkwardly buys one for Mira too.
You know, it was fun to tease you, but now you're an item, and I just.
And now you can't tease
I was
us.
gonna say, Paisane's like, you know, I actually just kind of realized I don't really care anymore if you tease, because I can do this, and he like turns over and just kisses you on the forehead. It's like, I can do that as much as I want now.
You
Yes,
have
okay.
Paisane. Paria has her lover who's working for the enemy.
Now you're making me feel bad.
Don't make her feel bad. She has somebody.
Violet has
Right?
violence.
I don't know if Violet's ever I don't know if Violet/Q has ever even considered the concept of No, yeah.
No, you actively showed not like.
Yeah, aversion to it. I don't know if Violet's ever considered that. But I mean, you've got that homicidal unicorn knight you're interested in, right?
Right. I don't even remember her name.
Thanks, sister.
That was kind of a compliment. I mean, we're all a little homicidal.
It's not wrong.
You know, I think I'm just gonna go in the spring by myself.
Okay, bye.
Well, if you feel that way. It's like, literally, they both rush off away from you. It's like, well, if you insist. Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. Great. I love it.
Okay, so you guys, I'd say Peria arrives just in time to see Paisane and Medea rushing off by themselves in the direction of the spring.
Into the not sunset, the spring.
Yeah.
Spring set.
Yeah.
Spring set, yeah.
Mira,
Oh,
I am so sorry. I won't leave you to be third wheel ever again.
hey, Paria. It's fine. How was your talk with your girlfriend?
It was great. It was kind of awkward at first, but it was fine. It's just me though. Why am I like this? Let's go relax.
Yes. Let's do that.
I've never actually been to these, so it's really
Oh.
exciting. Ooh,
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but that's good,
Okay.
baby.
That was interesting. So as you guys depart from each other, Paisane and Medea head off in first. I just rolled a D100 for a sort of luck check.
Damn, there's a 90.
And as if it was scripted, Mira, your
Great.
sending stone
Yes!
activates.
Yes!
I rolled a 90 on a 100.
Yay!
It's a 10% chance. As you hear, okay, I know you said we're not supposed to use this anymore, but I haven't heard from you in like a really long time, and I just want to make sure you're still alive. And you kind of mentioned my mom the last time, and I just want to make sure you didn't go to her and she didn't kill you. So, could you respond to this when you can? Because I'm getting a little worried. As you hear Galisay's voice poke through. Almost like literally as you're having this moment. That's an incredible chance.
Yes,
In fact, I'm gonna just
yes,
change the music at this point.
I'll wait for the music change. Yes, I needed this. How are you doing?
Oh, it's good to hear from you. I'm okay. It's been really busy here. Getting really tired of all the work they keep loading onto us, but it's honestly, I don't even know anymore. I think we're preparing for something big, but no one will tell me exactly what it is. How about you? Anything interesting? Still trying to
Well,
undermine the plans of my superiors and all that?
something like that. On that secret diplomatic mission of sorts at the moment.
Ooh. I'm really bad at those myself, but that sounds really interesting.
Right. Um, you know, what if it were possible from you to get away from there?
Well, I mean, I've been sent on missions like outside of Gardas like once or twice. It's not impossible. I could. I mean, right now it's a little tough because of this thing they're not telling me about that we're preparing for and all the weird decay steel training we're going through. But it's I don't know. I mean, did you have like something in mind?
Well, maybe, but I I don't know. I just we've talked, but like I don't know exactly how you feel about everything. It would be rude of me to ask you to just leave everything behind. I know you've asked me to leave everything and come there, but
Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, um, that uh, that would be really hard. I mean, I'm not, I'm not really that close with anyone here. I like my team. Ayuna's really nice. Captain Havalos is a little strict, but Relican's not so bad if you get to know him. He's a little creepy at first, but
Mm.
then I miss Dorn, but I know you said he's being taken care of by, I'm guessing, the rebels, but I don't know.
He is safe.
As long as he's alive, I guess that's fine. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, Mira. We haven't had too many like face-to-face moments, but
No.
these little conversations that we've had, via like spells or the stone I'm not supposed to use that I'm definitely using right now. It's been like the favorite parts of my last year, really. I don't know. I haven't had too many people I could feel like myself with. I always have to be Lady Galisay of the Unicorn Knights, and I have to do all the official things, and no one even asked about my family, and you asked about my mom, and I haven't talked about her and even thought about her in so long.
I'm going to maybe soon, once something is finished, pay her a visit in the Isles.
Be okay. Really be careful. I know I described her as being this really cool badass woman, but she's actually kind of a horrible person.
She seemed
She's
to.
a pirate queen. It's like,
I know, but when I mentioned you, she changed her tone.
mentioned me?
I did. Sorry.
She remembers me?
It would seem so. Is that so crazy?
I thought she forgot about me. I thought that's why she didn't come back.
She sounded very threatening and like, she was going to kill me or something until I mentioned how I felt about you. And then she changed her tone a bit.
How do you feel about me?
I imagine I'm just in like the spa
Yeah.
right now,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just like
Like, at this
sink
point-
beneath like the water, like
Yeah.
I've been talking to you this whole time.
Yeah, throughout this whole time with the sending stone, Mira's been going on autopilot. You've already gotten to the front desk, and they've already like gestured you through. You were like changing while holding the stone and talking, and Perry is just kind of going on about whatever. And then like you're in the spring, and it's very relaxing. But you barely like honestly, Mira, you barely notice like how relaxed you are as you feel this almost tension and this awkwardness and this concern build up as you're talking, and yeah, you are just like now just sinking down into the spring.
I care about you a lot.
Even though I almost, killed you or your friends like twice now.
Well, well, I suppose there was that. But it they say that something can bloom on a battlefield. It's a phrase I have heard. It's
It
just
usually comes from people fighting side by side, but
but
I kind of know what you mean.
it does, but
No, I get it. I don't know. I get it. I never really answered your question. If I could get away from here, I don't know where we would go that they couldn't find us. They're really good at that. Even now, I think they're already looking for you guys. I'm not supposed to really say anything more, but something bad's gonna happen soon. I don't know what, but I'm worried about you. Because I'm pretty sure you're gonna be wherever it is, because you guys seem to always be.
And I don't want them to do to you like what they did to Dorn.
What did they do to Dorn?
They changed him. He became
Obsessed.
corrupted by the void. Even after.
Right before he left, he was always just so single-minded and focused, and it scared me a little bit. He didn't joke around like he used to anymore. I thought it was just him being weird, but Talos.
It took a powerful celestial creature that we ran into to be able to save him from whatever they did. He's honestly lucky he came. It is the only way he probably could have been saved, was to be defeated by us. If he had fallen somewhere else in battle to some other team, he might have fallen to the void.
Don't know anymore.
I've
I always knew the Order was weird and kind of creepy. We were always just... The Unicorn Knights existed to protect the king. And then, years ago, I don't know, like 15, 16, something, the Order became so much more involved, and it's just been weird ever since, and I haven't liked it ever since then.
Stellus.
Is that his name? The weird floaty guy? I've seen him like twice. They call him the Aurorical.
He is the problem. And I don't even... He's not who he appears to be.
Stop. Don't say any more like this. Where are you?
For risk, I can't say.
Okay.
But maybe you should get a vacation and, try and go, somewhere colder to get away for a bit.
Colder. It's pretty cold here. I don't know what to tell you. Gardas is like really cold. Like really, really cold.
Perhaps a bit more frosty, somewhere with lots of snow.
I feel like you're trying to tell me something, but I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of snow and frost here. Like a lot of it. It's all snow here.
Let me look at my notes.
Am I miss-
Hold on.
Yeah, it's like she is like racking her brain to be like, what is he? What is she trying to hint? Like she can tell you're trying to say something, but she's like, it's all snow.
I know. Hold on. Looking through my notes, I know. Where is?
If you tell me, what are you trying to like? What area of the world are you trying to insinuate?
That was called the Arctic Sprawl, right?
If you're talking about in Gardas, yes, there is like a large mass of just like
Yeah.
glaciers and ice and everything. Are you thinking of the White Maw?
Yeah. Perhaps you should just get away from Aspera for a bit. Maybe visit a smaller town, somewhere up north.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. There's a few towns. I think Are you thinking of Froome?
Yeah, Froome.
Froome, okay.
Because that's the edge of the White Mall, isn't it?
That is the edge of the White Maw.
Okay.
It's also near Mount Atreus, where the snowmen are stationed under.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll
take a vacation day.
I'll make something up. And yes is my answer. If I could. Just yes.
Alright. I'll see what I can do.
I won't use the stone anymore. I know it's not I don't have like magic. Like I don't know because you
No,
have magic. I don't have magic. It's not a thing I do. I have like some magic, but it's very little. I can like mark people. That's about it. I don't really do magic.
No,
She
it's
is a ranger.
yeah,
Not a lot. She has
yeah,
some, but not a lot of magic.
yeah. Let me I'll contact you in a few days.
Okay. I'll say I'm visiting maybe not family. They know I don't really have any here. I'll think of something. Ayuna will help. She's nice. I think she'll have a good idea. She also always gets on Avalos's good side, so
All right.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. I'll
Be careful.
you too.
Okay. And you feel the connection on the sending stone end. As you realize you are somehow in the springs already, as Peria has been talking, probably.
Theories. Heard all the
Yeah.
theories of the world.
I see. Oh, you kind of like see just like Mira like 1,000-yard stare goes away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Activating.
sorry, Peria. Boy, I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay. That's good for me to talk it out. I'll stink.
She was dumping like all her traumas on her. She wasn't even paying attention.
Just my notebook.
Oh, Lordy.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I've never been happier for a 90 roll or higher.
Were there
It's great.
were there any trees in Froome?
That is a that's
Probably not. I mean, if I recall,
I have
it was
to pull up my Froome map now.
very
Thanks.
desolate. A lot of rocks and mountains and so much snow.
I recall the only tree we have in Darvis is the one with the wandering knights.
The druids.
You have a tree in Deus Stalos with the druids, which is not terribly far from Froome.
Yeah, she needs a.
There were trees in Froome, but I don't think you made a note. You unfortunately have to be able to remember. You could scry on Froome. You could try and like locate a tree, but there wasn't a specific. Well, I could see an argument for Lunan's hut. Lunan was the half giant you met in Froome, and she lived on the edge of town. There could have been a tree at her place potentially that you might be able to remember, because you can probably remember her little lonely hut on top of the hill.
Her grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, her grandfather had passed right before you got there, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was alone. But yes,
I was like,
I think
40.
A while ago.
Yeah, oh my god, it was ages ago.
Oh, it was a very long time ago.
Can you scry on a location?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Scry 5e. I believe it's an object,
Unless it
creature,
has
or location.
Yeah, it just has to be like familiar with it, ish.
Could you scry on the house?
I'm checking.
You can see and hear a particular creature. No, it's a creature.
It's a creature. It's specifically a creature. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say if you tried to... No. Instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as target of the spell. Bottom.
Oh.
The last
there
line
it
is
is.
scrying. So you've been there before. You
Yeah,
can
sure.
see Froome or her house.
Alright. Yeah, I'll spend my...
The scry doesn't move, though. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's
I mean,
fine.
I will spend my 6th level spell slot from Mirror.
Thank
Okay,
you,
what are
Peria.
You can use the pool of water that you're in as the scry sensor, like
Yeah.
as the pool, the reflective pool. That's cool.
We're worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, the focus. I'll say. I think that the spring is worth 1,000 gold pieces at this point. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. Just because it's cool. I need to ask specifically, what are you scrying? Like Froome, Lunan's house.
Lunan's hut. I would like. Did she have a fence or something leading, like a little fence, and then a walkway to her hut?
Yes, she had. There was like some sort of like protective, like keep away kind of. She was a hermit. She was the only half giant,
Right.
like half frost giant in the city. So she kind of like had like the outcast kind of situation at the edge of town.
Be like just inside the barrier, essentially, so I could see the
Okay,
hut
like
and
the
the
threshold
land.
of her
Yeah.
home. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll say. I mean, this is. I'll say firsthand. Technically, you have met the target, but you've been there. I don't think you know it well. There's no save modifier, I would say. How does this work?
It's
I
just
guess that's it. I guess
Charisma
that's
check?
it. I think it just happens. I think it just
Okay.
happens because it says instead of targeting a creature, and only the creature would make the save.
Yeah.
I think you can just target a
Do it.
location you've been to. So as you cast the spell, I'm gonna say that like Mira, you can
Mira
just
can
look
see.
down at the water,
Yeah.
I
basically,
scoot over towards you.
and you can see in like a 4-foot diameter ring around in front of Peria, the water blurs and then clarifies, and almost like you're seeing a reflection on the water surface of a little snow-covered shack with like, it looks like you see there's a stack of firewood, like a massive stack of firewood that has been untouched, as Lunan has not probably been back, as you know she's staying with the druids in Deostalos, and it's just covered in snow. And you do see, I would believe, I think I even said this when you went there, I think there is in fact a tree, like a singular tree, on like the left side of her house, fully like no leaves, just covered in snow, but it's this one lonely tree, probably with like a wood-cutting axe leaning against it and another stump nearby. As you also see in the distance the sprawl of glaciers and water in the horizon past the edge of the hut. And I will allow you to mark down for the Dryad's key, however you want to word it, Lunan's hut in Froome specifically.
Okay, let me key. How do I spell Lunan?
It's more simple than you'd expect. It's
Lou.
Lunan.
AAN. It's like Luna on.
Shucks.
Lunan. It is a slight extension of the Lunan kind of
Lunan.
idea.
It's Frume?
Froome's
Okay.
just what it sounds like.
Okay. There's a way out there. Good. That's so.
So you have that
Right.
locked in.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You're probably wondering why I asked you to.
Yeah. but-
Well,
All good.
You know, maybe we get somebody out of Gardes.
Ooh. There's a lot of people who should get out of Gardas. Like, everyone should just get out of Gardas.
Right. You know, Galisay.
What's her name?
3 springs
You're not
over.
here.
Paisian and Medea definitely have like their own singular spring.
Yeah.
They're like, as soon as, by the way, slight backtrack here.
Uh-huh.
Paisian and Medea arrive at the front desk, and like the person at front is like, all right, and you go through this door, and you go through that door, and Paisian just slams the paper down on the desk, like cracking its surface slightly, and she just like holds it, is like, Okay. It just like directs you both through the one room. Like, well, Empress says so. I guess that's it. So Paisan and Medea, you both have your own run of like one personal like hot spring chamber, with like beautiful trees hanging over, and some privacy for you both to enjoy the evening. In fact, about 5 minutes after you're in there, because of the letter, an attendant comes out with a tray with some drinks. And it kind of like floats in the spring as she like pushes it over towards you. As you two get the royal treatment.
Awesome. We deserve it.
Back to Mira.
Yeah, back to Mira.
You're still in contact with. Is that what?
What?
Tell me everything.
Well, you know, the bleh.
The bleh.
I love this.
I tell you about her. I tell you about the pirate mom.
Oh my god, that's why I didn't want to go to the Quranic Isle so bad. It's not the shard. I get it.
Right.
I support this.
Honestly, I really needed that. Don't ever tell her this, but now I'm very jealous of Paisan and Medea.
Damn straight you are.
I also love this for you.
I could still pick on you for now, though.
That's fine. I'm comfortable with it. So it's not as fun for you.
But, we both have someone we want to save and make sure is safe.
Yeah.
And
we're both in the same spot.
there might be a chance
Similar
to...
situations. Yeah.
Might be a chance to get her out, though I don't know if they are listening in. So we may go with a fight.
Yeah. It's nothing new. Well, we'll be ready. I'm sorry, I for We need some drinks.
We do Paisan. Fuck, he took the letter.
That's okay.
It's gonna cost extra for you to You'll
Wait,
get him for free.
They should know who Peria is.
That's true.
You know what? And you did probably walk up with the fucking tiara. Yeah, actually no. You guys definitely like around the same time Paisan and Medea got drinks. An attendant came through with platters of drinks. They float over to you as well because yeah, you absolutely would be known. Yeah. You're the heiress of the Crimson after all.
Even if you do change your hair a few times.
A couple times. Actually,
I thought they said she was brunette. It's like, no. I think she had blue hair. It's like, what? Like, there's just rumors flying around about Peria throughout city.
Great. They would have like a salon at the hot springs, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It's not just springs. It's a full spa. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Mira, let's go get our nails done.
I will also say, for Mira and Medea, there's something about this that the Sparage could use. That part, definitely. Like it doesn't have... It does... it doesn't have the... quite the presentation that the Sparage does, but you both have to like admire like the mineral rich waters of this land. It's like, I wonder if we can bring this back home somehow.
Yeah.
There is that wonder.
Very nice.
But there is a difference between
Natural.
a spring in the desert that's designed to cool you down versus this, which is like invigorating and relaxing at the same time. But yeah, you guys can get the full works. No cost whatsoever. This is Imperial hospitality. I made it work!
Yeah.
A session name that actually works!
Yeah.
Yes.
Mira, let's take the cloud back to the palace so we don't have to walk.
That sounds great.
You can air dry as like a diaphanous silk gown blows in the wind as you're astride a cloud. It's
Yes.
like, what the fuck is this campaign anymore? But yes, we will say you guys enjoy a wonderful romantic evening of sorts in the springs. Some of you more so than others. Some of you more over message. Some of you very tactilely physical and romantic. However, we're not quite able to wrap up the evening.
Sorry.
As no, it's fine. Peria.
I'll send a message.
Yes, I will change music over as you guys arrive.
Business.
Well, as you guys arrive back over in the Crimson Throne, you are brought up to the rooms that you have been given for the evening. And Perry, remember you have to send a message before heading to bed to
Yes.
Vivian. Violet, was there anything else? Were you going tonight?
I mean, if you could go and come back by the time they get back from the springs, then yes.
Okay, then actually let's shift over and say, this is a full evening. I love this. I love this. You guys are getting so much done in one evening. As you guys are resting in the springs, Violet, who do you send a message to inform them that you're heading out? You have the earring?
Yeah, Erie.
Who?
It's
Who?
Medea.
Medea, okay. So, Medea, as you're relaxing with Pyzane, at one point, he's leaning in for a kiss, and you hear...
Oh,
Of
no.
course.
Hey, just wanted to let you know, I'm going to my tomb to talk to the Sphinx.
You have a look on your face. Did I do something wrong?
No, not you. Q's talking to me in the...
What? He like
earring.
reaches over, like cups your earring and says, "Get off the line, we're busy."
Thanks, says get off the line.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
I just want to let you know where I'll be.
Damn these things.
All
Leave
right.
you guys to it.
Anyways, magic sucks.
It's very inconvenient sometimes. I'll
Really
like take
is.
it out and put it.
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Yeah, he takes his out. So it's like, all right, now where were we? Anyways, all right. So Violet has let the party know technically, although unfortunately the one that you are linked to is preoccupied. So that's interesting.
Sorry.
Unfortunately,
But,
I don't have
I
a
know.
drink like Imperial or Mira.
I know it's unfortunate, but hey, if you can get back in time, it's no big deal, right?
We can always swap
If-
earrings eventually.
You could, yeah.
If that's
You
more
guys could rearrange
advantageous.
earrings if that's a problem.
Yeah.
But as you finish up this ritual with your mother, she leads you to the like teleportation hub at the castle, where she directs you to this one in particular that's probably like central in the room. There's like there's other teleportation circles that branch off of it that you assume lead to other particular locations, either across Susail or maybe even further apart. Hard to say, but the central one she brings you to, like this is the Kalos teleportation circle. This will bring you to the Crimson specific chamber at the heart of Susail. It is the meeting place for the emperors and empresses. As of these days, we have been forced to staff our own individual chambers with members of the Crimson, since the Chromatic Order who used to take care of it is absent. So I have written you something in case they have any problems with you there. She hands you a small folded envelope that again is stamped with her seal. She's given out quite a few of these like pardons in the last 3 hours or so. But of
Thank you,
course,
Mom.
if you have any problems, you can step right back through, and I'll be here.
Thank you. I hopefully won't be that long.
Okay. Be safe.
And she will step through.
Okay. You appear. Been a bit since we saw this map.
Been a hot minute.
you appear stepping through this portal right in the middle of a preparation chamber, like a resting room that also includes services for like you see a couple of beds off to the side, as if like perhaps when the emperors need to spend a night or something. It seems like personal chambers for the Crimson, which you do see there are a couple of like red flame torches denoting which of the clans this one's for. And as you step out from the front door, there are 2 Crimson guards outside of this door, who seem extremely bored, and one of them is actually like leaning against the wall because whoever comes through here anymore. The other one goes, shit, oh, like immediately like salutes to you. We were expecting you, of course. Who are you?
At ease. I think this will explain it, so hand the letter.
He like kicks the other guards. Well, we have official business from the Empress. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, Your Highness. And you see the other one goes, "That's not the Empress, you fuck!" It's like, what? Oh, she reads more. Oh, on behalf of God, yeah.
I mean, I am her adopted child, so.
They look at each other. Sure, and he like hands you back the letter. On your way then. They didn't seem to fully believe that, but they're letting you go. Perfectly fine.
Oh, I would have Sharon with me, by the way.
Sure. Okay. Grab that real quick. Boop, boop. As you walk through the halls, you do see there are other chambers guarded by those in garb similar to like alabaster, verdant, golden, and cobalt. As like ringing the building, there seems to be these chambers at 5 specific points, and then there's a 6th door that has no guards, and then there's also what looks like an interior door that you would think you imagine leads to the room that you've been in only once before, or twice before technically, and it's not a great room because it's where you were exiled. But leaving through the other 6th door, you find yourself on the edge of a long bridge that leads to what was known as the Crucible, where you know the door to Zizant lies, and at its base is what was once your tomb. And stepping out in the dead of night on the edge of the heart of Susail, you look across and see the 5 districts of Kalos, with their individual colored flames throughout the city streets, creating almost like a rainbow effect throughout the city as it fades from beautiful blue hues into golden yellows, into fiery reds, into verdant greens, and then into pure pristine whites. That just this ring of lights. And the center is dark. The crucible has no lights on, just completely in shadow.
She pauses for a moment and like just looks to Kieran and reaches up and pats him on top of the head. I promise. I'll try to keep the sail the way it's supposed to be.
As you say this little promise, Kieran just sort of nuzzles against you. As you begin to move across this bridge.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is a lot more risky than I remember. Wait,
Yeah,
I used to
it is.
have to stop my size.
It's true. It is a little bit uneasy. It does sway a little bit in the evening breeze. You feel like they haven't set up like an official like stone or otherwise bridge. Perhaps out of a sense of tradition or laziness, you're not sure. You do know the crucible only gets used once every 10 years, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone staffing it anymore since it's now unusable. As you pass by this large gate, there's a small shiver that runs up your spine, as you know right on the other side of that gate is a realm that is currently inhabited by the emissary of the void, Zizant, a place where a lot of bad things happen to you specifically.
Yep.
But there is also a staircase that winds past it down and in circles around the crucible until it eventually reaches the base. And it takes a while. You're walking for 10, 15, 20 minutes of just down steps as you encircle this massive karst-like stone structure in the midst of the city. As you do, memories kind of begin to spark. You know what Kalos was before it was Kalos. Kalos is the name of one of the ancient Crimson Emperors who was thought to have masterminded the defeat of the Violet and liberated Susail from their bonds and then divided out the land to the 5 nations and brought peace and harmony, which you know is utter horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Kalos, the city, was once the seat of power for the Violet. That the heart of Susail, which is used as the meeting house for the 5 houses, was your home for a brief period when you were living with Andurias. And that this central crucible-like island was a shrine, a place of worship, a place of power. And it's strange walking through it at night, the silence, the distant sounds of life in the districts. You stop for a moment and wonder how many people here really know that they're treading on the bones of a dead clan. A clan that you now are the last remaining member of. I feel like there probably would be a moment, even if it's just for a second, of resentment, but then it's kept at bay.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, it's still like down there, but there is a small bit.
As you wind down until eventually you reach the steps before a large cavernous opening that you know descends into this shrine that is referred to as your tomb. A place you were kept in a form of stasis for close to 900 years until you could be used again. It's the same place that Peria came with Felix and Camille, Paisane. Not terribly long ago, but 6-7 months ago, to entreat your help with the upcoming rite of ordering, and set off this whole chain of events, awoke you from your slumber, brought the legend of Arcus to life for the people of Susail again, and led into a truly insane half a year for you. You were reborn, you died, and reborn again. And now you find yourself back here. And you can't help but feel this sense of destiny. Like this place has a very important meaning for you. And as you approach the mouth of this cave, you see someone standing off to the side, patiently, with a staff in hand, leaning against it. And you see a mask in the visage of a phoenix.
Ooh.
I was wondering when you'd find your way home.
How did you know I'd come back here?
Teyraz knows a great many things about what is and what may come.
Let me guess that's the name of the Endra Sphinx.
It is only to be given at the appropriate time. We of the Chromatic Order misunderstood his visions, his guidance. We assumed that it was your awakening that signaled the return of Andurias and the rise of the Violet. But apparently his wording with the rise of Violet was a bit misleading. And he turns and gestures for you to follow.
That is so cool.
Violet will follow him in.
Okay. As you step into this chamber, it eventually goes from natural stone to cobbled and manufactured. 1 second.
Mhm.
And eventually it leads to a stairwell that you know descends down to this point where you were kept under the earth for hundreds of years. And as you descend, that feeling swells in your chest, this mix of anticipation, of anxiety, of uncertainty, maybe a slight bit of excitement, worry. You're not sure what is going to happen. You're not sure what you're going to find out. But as you reach the bottom of the stairs, you step into a well-lit chamber, lit with a multitude of colors. As you see standing around you, whereas once there were statues representing each of the clans of the houses of Susail, there is now figures standing still. Figures you recognize. Reniket, the Felidar, standing in an array of crimson. Yansara, the Quetzalcoatl, coiled in a cobalt array. Alarin, the Simurg, in a verdant. The unnamed Serenitis in a golden yellow. And you see Ophinia, the unicorn, the first one you found, in a glowing white array. And at the center, you see the Androsphinx, resting, laying down, its wings folded in, and its humanoid-esque sphinx face with a slight lion-like nose, but the rest human, long mane, slightly smirking as you approach. You also see, in the far distance, on what was once your place of rest, a shrine with hundreds and hundreds of candles lit, and a suit of Susalian armor, and a violet sword, representative of the one who has passed. You see, this member of the order looks to the Androsphinx, gives a bow. Teraz, I have brought her, as you have ordained. He turns to you. May your destiny be as brilliant as your past, heiress of the violet. And turns
Wait,
and
what?
walks back into the stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
You see this Androsphinx, whose name you've never asked or known, Teraz, stands and the wings flex. You sure took your time.
To be honest, I wasn't sure you wanted to see me again, as our last conversation made it seem like you were a tad annoyed of my presence.
What I want matters little in the grand scheme of things. What any of us wants matters barely at all. You were always meant to return here. Eventually.
I shouldn't be surprised that you saw us coming. You knew what was going to happen with the beasts, and you knew what was going to happen with Endorius, I'm sure.
I knew what would happen with Andorius. I knew what would happen with the clans. And I knew what would happen with the beasts you sought. At least parts of it. My abilities do not allow me full omniscience, but I can see eventualities and possibilities. I simply wager on the most likely. Now, you have come here to claim your place. You are the last remaining of the Violet clan. As such, I ask you a question now.
Yes.
For the future of Susail, what path will you walk? Those gathered here that you have found and bonded with, they now control the auras of all of Susail. And they are willing to bow to the Violet Empress. If you so wished it, you could command all of Susail. You who have suffered more than any other in all of the storied history of its people. You who have fought harder to overcome greater threats. Inheritor of Andorius's will, what path will you walk?
Funny. I had actually been asking myself that question for quite a long time. I have met so many different people in my journeys, and there have been times I could have seen myself walking down such a vastly different path. I started to think what my life would be now if I had not met those who are close to me. And for the first time in a long time, I know what I want. Not what people want of me, not what is expected of me, but what I want. And what I want is a place that people with vastly different ideals and cultures can come together in unity and just find a way to bring out the strength in one another. One Susail that honors not just one facet of its people, but all of them. And I've seen the history play out for me that Violet is not meant to, as that just causes resentment. And my role, Violet's role, I believe, is to be the mediator, the one that reaches out to each clan to bridge peace. That is what I want.
As you finish your answer, you see all of the beasts around you that are in their circles have been standing and watching, and you see a number of them who were tensed relax. And you see Teraz looks down at you, and then here I was worried I'd have to eat you. And you see turns, and with a great wing flap, rushes from the pedestal and takes the last spot, the last celestial beast. Lands and turns. Step forward.
To you or the?
Up the stairs.
I'm
God, I
sorry.
thought it was obvious. It's like, and you see Ilarin off to the side goes, he does that with everyone, don't worry. He's kind of a prick. Yeah, and Sarah down here is like, I had forgotten about him, honestly. It had been so very long. You see Ophinia, the unicorn, like, this is why I didn't want to come back, but I am glad I did. As all of them take like a collective moment to like, you hear like laughs around as they all kind of share this joke. You Teras go, hey, who's the boss here? They all in unison, they go, she is. Like, he just kind of like sits down as you step forward onto this platform. Violet Q10 Knight. The name chosen for not the leader of an era, but the uniter of a people. Take with you our wills. There is a great darkness in this world, and not a metaphorical one, a quite literal one. The Black Aurora will threaten all of this world in time. So allow me, as the final celestial, to grant you a boon. You see all of the circles light up. Violet, you feel a surge of energy and a rush of memories that are not your own as you feel a sudden understanding overtake you. I have added True Violet Aura to your handouts list.
Yeah, let's go.
An aura of pure violet, unlike the typical purple hues an Elkin might have, this aura glows at such a dark violet it becomes ultraviolet, appearing almost akin to a black light. Once per long rest as a bonus action, you can manifest your true violet aura, shifting it into an umbral black like the night sky as it pulses around you. It lasts until you end it as a bonus, or fall unconscious, like other true auras do. The initial activation has a hefty cost, but while it is active, you ignore the effects of any exhaustion taken from levels of decay, and take half decay damage from external sources.
Ooh.
Screw that, Merc Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you feel this rush of energy, your aura goes from violet to this black hue with just purple edges of the light.
So fucking cool.
And as it does, you feel this presence surround you. And you can almost feel like Hondurius' back is against your own. And you know that you have taken on the will and have willingly disowned the rulership of Susail. Before you was handed the opportunity to control Susail. You could have made peace through force. Each of the beasts in this room would bow to you and would negate the auras of any who stood against you. Ophinia controls the alabaster, Lauren, the verdant. Any who would have acted against you or spoken out of turn, much like when you were Arcus, they would have obeyed against their will. And you feel the acknowledgement from every creature in this room that you were not tempted by that power. And that if you had been, there's a good chance you would have fought all of them right now. There's a pretty good chance they would have tried to rip you to shreds because you can feel that they were not willing to allow another tyrant to rise.
Yes.
As you feel this aura subside, and you know your heritage and even a little bit of your destiny, you see all of the beasts seem to lay down and close their eyes. And you see their bodies begin to shimmer and turn gray, petrifying in place.
Oh, well,
Each one
Sorry.
turning into stone. much like the statues you saw here before. You see, as Teraz sits stoically, kind of like taking a specific position, stretching one of the wings would look good.
It's my good side.
Or Quetzalcoatl.
Make sure this is worth it. Yeah, literally, Yansar is like, genuinely, Yansar is like, this one's of my own free will, at least.
Sorry, funny. I've been free to become stone again.
You see, the Serenitis, as it's turning to stone, is like, please, safeguard the forests. As it turns to stone, statue of a proud golden stag. Ilarin sits with its long tail wrapped around of like the vibrant, multicolored feathers. I am glad you rose above your simulacrum like I did. It is good to see the true you, Violet. And then stone. You see Ophinia, unicorn, takes a pose almost like in a rear as she rears back and the light from the horn shines once, and then stone. And Renicat the Felidar, though you did not use my gift, you have found better ones. Trust in those around you. And he releases a massive roar that echoes out as he turns to stone. And you are left alone in this chamber, surrounded by statues of celestial beasts you've spent the last half a year gathering one by one. See, after...
Sorry.
No, you're fine. After a moment, you just hear footsteps as the member of the Chromatic Order returns. It is done, then.
And I said I need to amend something. And she will pull up the scroll she made for the Sphinx. Cross out the Sphinx's name. And simply put Suzanne.
He walks up and gestures for the scroll.
She'll hand it to him. I think it's
Yeah.
best that my deeds honor everyone, not just the Sphinx.
He walks silently round to your shrine, places the scroll down as he begins his own ritual honoring you and all of Susail. And as he finishes, he reaches up, takes the mask of the phoenix, places it down, places his staff, takes the robe off. He seems to have clothes on underneath and folds it, puts it. And you see what looks like an old man. Deep set wrinkles, slightly pointed ears, long, wispy, frazzled hair as he turns back. I have lived for a very long time, hoping to see the rise of the Violet clan again. Not out of fealty, but because I truly believed it was the only way to unify this land. I have never been so happy to be wrong. I have faith in you.
Thank you. I will do all that I can for not just the Violet.
I shall remain here, I think. These, great creatures will need a caretaker so they don't get too dusty, or someone has to keep the candles lit. If you ever need anything, if it's within my power, I will do it.
Thank you. I know this is the best.
What was that? Sorry.
So I know this is a bit of a stretch.
It's like, speak up. I'm a bit old. Sorry.
I don't suppose you have any guidance upon learning the ability known as Exalted Flame.
There's the
He
help.
actually begins laughing very hard. Oh, my dear. He like holds his hand up, and nothing appears. All of the chromatic order were barren. I have never
Right.
known the light of Invilis, I am afraid.
I am so sorry, I completely forgot.
You have nothing to apologize for. I wish I could help you in that endeavor, but I am certain you will find your way.
Me too. Thank you, truly. And she will give him a bow.
Please. You have no reason to bow to me. Be safe. He turns back and continues his little ritual.
As Violet is walking out, she'll give a bow to each of the creatures before she leaves.
As you bow to each of the statues, though they are pure stone, you can feel a sense of respect and gratitude emanate from them almost inherently. Except for Teyraz, you feel a slight bit of agitation as one of his wings was a little off from where he wanted it to be. And you can sense immense agitation that he's going to be spending eternity a little bit askew. And you also sense a little bit of pleasure from all the others that he's knowing by that fact.
She'll chuckle, and like as she's walking up, she'll like bump her head like it's silly. Oh, I got to get used to this height.
Yeah, you are actually. You have to like bump down a little bit under the yeah. As you return outside into the brisk evening air of Kalos, your aura flares almost instinctively, and you can just see that what has so far been a sign of disaster, this black aura, you see this deep, deep, deep violet hue that is beautiful. And you realize there are multiple ways to use power like this, that maybe there's more to the Black Aurora than just a weapon of destruction. And it flares away.
I don't feel like taking the wrong way up, Karen. And she's going to activate Aura Flight and just fly up.
As you activate Aura Flight, your aura-shaped wings are this deep, deep violet with like just a hint of black at the center. As you just rise up into the night sky above the city that was once the Violet Throne, and now, whereas walking down there was that slight sense of resentment that these people are treading on the dead history of Andorius' legacy, as you soar above Kalos, you realize this is how it should be. Unity. The 5 clans in one place, all sharing the same home. Yes, it was once the Violet's home, and yes, it's unfortunate that no one remembers the good of the Violet clan, but Andorius did create Arcus. Perhaps it's better Susail move on as you arc your way back to the heart of Susail. I think that's where we'll call it for this night.
A crumb of exalted flame, please.
Everywhere you go, some old person. Hey.
Oh my gosh. I
wanna
don't
do my
blame you for not
exalted flame?
remembering.
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all. It's been forever, but yeah, all the chromatic order, they were all Baron, and they had like techniques to like negate aura. So like they used abilities that like they had like Bartoon's Spite, aura cages. Their whole thing was as like a policing force for Susail's aura, and they were all Baron, so it's unfortunate. But I don't blame you for asking.
It was probably like a 700-year-old-ish elf, so
Yeah, it seemed to be somebody who either was around for the Violet, or maybe their father was around for the Violet, and they like had a very clear idea of what the Violet could have been. And now they're gonna spend whatever less than a century they've got on this planet tending to some statues. As you made the right choice.
The real reason they didn't want to go is because they didn't walk back up all those stairs.
Yeah, no, genuinely. They don't have
One-
aura flight.
It's a
They're
one-way
like,
trip.
oh, my back. Yeah, it's easier down, not that easy up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, great session.
that was a
Oh,
good session. That was, we got some good stuff.
Wait, I have a question for AJ.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
sure.
Did you name Violet knowing about this? Or is it just a happenstance? Like, did you remember?
No.
I gotta know!
Yeah,
Maybe.
I did.
Okay.
Maybe.
Alright.
No, you didn't. Don't you dare lie. Don't you fucking lie. Don't you lie to the people.
Why? I
You had no idea I was gonna drop that line. No. I was gonna let AJ answer, but no, absolutely not. Just like I didn't plan the twins to be the fucking sisters of Invilis. There's so many things that have happened in this campaign that I've just been like, how did that work out so well?
no,
When AJ was like, I'm gonna name her Violet, I'm like, oh, I can work with that.
no. I just
Don't
named
you
her
dare.
Violet. I named her Violet as a symbolic thing because
Yes.
Sure.
And then
Okay.
I made it work for other things.
Crazy! I was like,
Yeah.
what?
It's hard to make
just
it's
wanted
hard
to
to make
seem big
prophecies
brain.
work because prophecies are bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Like all prophecies are horseshit. Like it's like you just read it the wrong way. Like even the Starfall prophecy, there's probably 1,000 ways to read that one. So when you named her Violet, I'm like, we're back
Perfect.
in business.
Meat's on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a lovely romantic session of moments between people. And we'll get to Peria and Vivian's
fine.
dream
Mhm.
next time. To be honest, I wanted to give myself a little bit of time to think about things she might also want to report to you
Sure.
in that time frame.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Um,
notes.
We are not playing next week. Next week we're
Correct.
doing our werewolf. So the 12th we'll aim for.
Yep,
if that works for
I need
everyone.
to finish my character sheet. For that.
You've got less than a week
Yeah.
now.
Procrastination, baby.
Awesome.
All right.
Did someone really have a raid? Oh no, that
No,
was
no, no.
us
This is
raiding.
me
Okay.
getting ready to raid
I was
out.
gonna say.
So
I
no.
was gonna say.
So I'm gonna go ahead and send the raid out. I'll see you guys later.
Yep. I'll see ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was
Bye-bye.
wonderful.
Yes.
Wow.
Bye. All right. Well, we're gonna go send a Kaya. Bye, everybody.